Department of Agrarian Reform and the continuation of the budget hearing of the National Irrigation Administration, Philippine Coconut Authority, Philippine Carabao Center, and the National Dairy Authority. So, this public hearing for the Committee on Finance Subcommittee B is hereby called to order. May I first acknowledge the senators present. Nangawala na naman. Anyway, we can start without them. Okay. I welcome you all to the hearing of the Committee on Finance Subcommittee B. Our agenda for today are the proposed budget of the Department of Agrarian Reform and the continuation budget hearing of the NIA, the PCA, Philippine Carabao Center, and NDA. We will start by addressing the DAR budget, then proceed to the continuation of the hearing on the budget of NIA, PCA, PCC, and NDA. May I first give the floor? Of course, we want to acknowledge the presence of Secretary Conrado Estrella the third. Okay. And I then give the floor to the committee secretary in the Mendoza to acknowledge the presence of the resource persons present at today's hearing.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. The Committee on Finance Subcommittee B would like to acknowledge the following resource persons from the Department of Agrarian Reform, National Irrigation Administration, Philippine Coconut Authority, Philippine Carabao Center, and the National Dairy Authority. From the Department of Agrarian Reform, we have Undersecretary Marilyn Barua Yap, Undersecretary Casel Celeste, Undersecretary Lani C. De Leon, Undersecretary Jesri Palmares, Undersecretary Luis Mayrado Pangulayan, Undersecretary Amihilda Sangkopan, Undersecretary Rowena Nina Taduran, Assistant Secretary Marjorie Aison, Assistant Secretary Rene Colocar, Assistant Secretary Joseph Angelo Martirez, Assistant Secretary Susana Serrano, Attorney Ronald Manalaysay, DARAB Executive Director. We also have the regional offices. We have Director Maria Ana Francisco from DAR Region 1, Director Primo Lara from DAR Region 2, Director Samuel Solomero from DAR Region CAR, Director James Arsenio Ponce from DAR Region 3, Director McDonald Galit from DAR Region 4A, Director Marvin Bernal from DAR Region 4B, Director Ruben Chador Sindak from DAR Region 5, Director Sheila Enciso from DAR Region 6, Director Marian Baunto from DAR Region 12, Director Merlita Kapinpuyan from DAR Region 13, from the National Dairy Authority, we have Administrator Gabriel Lagamayo. From the Philippine Carabao Center, we have Dr. Caro Salce. From the Philippine, wala pang PCA. Okay, from the National Irrigation Administration, we have Senior Deputy Administrator Robert Sagitan. We also would like to acknowledge the presence of representatives from the Department of Agrarian Reform, DBM. We have Ms. Gemma Ilagan, and the Commission and Audit, DA and attached agencies. We have Mr. Manuel Garcia. What's this one? Okay. From the Department of Agriculture, we have Undersecretary Mercedita Sombilia. Asan siya? Ayun. Okay, po na. Yes, Undersecretary for Policy, Planning and Regulations. I think I have recognized everybody, Madam Chair. That is all po.
The Department of Agrarian Reform is envisioned as the lead government agency to implement a comprehensive and genuine agrarian reform that actualizes equitable land distribution, ownership of agricultural productivity, and tenurial security for, of, and with the tillers of the land towards the improvement of their quality of life. The proposed expenditure program of DAR for fiscal year 2024 is 9.393 billion, which is lower than the current year's level of 11.315 billion by 1.9 billion or 17%. By sources of appropriations, DAR's budget for 2024 is composed of 8.9 billion in new appropriations and 498 million in automatic appropriations. The operations budget of DAR for 2024 is 5.2 billion, which accounts for 59.2% of the DAR's total budget. This is composed of three programs, namely the Land Tenure Security Program, the Agrarian Justice Delivery Program, and the Agrarian Reform Beneficiaries Development and Sustainability Program. So I'm very happy because you have land distribution, you are going to give justice to the agrarian reform beneficiaries, and at the same time you have projects to provide support services to ARBs, smallholder farmers and their organization, to enable them to become more productive, enterprising, and grow into vibrant players in the community undertaking. DAR only has one foreign assisted project for 2024, the support to parcelization of lands for individual tithing, or what you call split projects. It is a foreign assisted project with the main goal of improving land tenure security and strengthening property rights of ARBs through accelerated subdivision and individual titling of 1,395 hectares covered by collective CLOA. So this is partially financed. 80% is financed by the World Bank, and 20% is being given by the government of the Philippines as equity. So I want the DART to present your budget. You have a very nice presentation. It's easy to read. Unlike the other presentation where I have used my eyeglasses and yet I cannot read the report. So thank you very much for preparing a very easy to read budget. Maybe you can start presenting it to the people, and then we'll decide afterwards what we will do. Okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor, Chairperson of the Committee on Finance Subcommittee B, Senator Cynthia Villar, and the distinguished honorable members of this committee, our colleagues in the Department of Agrarian Reform, and our co-workers in serving the farmers and the rural folks, those who belong to our brother agency, our friends from the Department of Agriculture, and all other agencies attached to this brother agency. Pleasant good morning to everybody. Your Honors, to begin with, I would like to say that this is such a great challenge for us, really. And there are so many years that passed. 6 years of which we had a comprehensive agrarian reform program, and even to the extent of covering lands, established farmlands, which there is no landlord-tenant relationship, uh, and even the established farmlands that business owner, there is an existence of business owner and employee relationship, were also covered, which brought down the production. Statistics will not lie. Following that, administration, in order to accelerate probably distribution of certificate of land ownership awards, um, we distributed collective CLOAs, meaning to say one CLOA with numerous owners. I don't see anything wrong with that, except that they forgot parcelization, which is a very important part of it. So that's another 6 years, and another 6 years where the secretary was not truly supported by the administration, plus 2 years of pandemic. So all in all, 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, where the program, the Department of Agrarian Reform program was derailed. And now, when we assume office, we are only supposedly given 6 years to address these problems that were created in 20 years. Your Honor, with all the problems that we are encountering now, we are swarmed with so many problems. We are drowning with tremendous problems, but we are still breathing fine. And there are so many challenges, but there's no problem because with the help of the Lord Almighty, we are able, the solutions are within reach. And most especially, may I take this opportunity to thank the Senate of the Republic of the Philippines, most especially our chairperson for the Committee on Finance, Subcommittee B, for Republic Act 11953, which is the new Agrarian Emancipation Act, or otherwise known as the Condonation Law, otherwise known as the Happy Law. And I would like to thank the chairperson and the senators, as well as our former colleagues in Congress, for this historic and gargantuan accomplishment. And now, moving on to the budget presentation of the Department of Agrarian Reform, may I therefore yield the floor to our Undersecretary for Finance for her to brief us regarding the proposed budget for 2024. With the permission of the chairperson, may I yield the floor to Undersecretary Lani De Leon, our Undersecretary for Finance. With your permission, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. We recognize Yusek De Leon.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairperson and the honorable members of this committee. For the fiscal year 2022, DAR's total budget is slightly lower. DAR's total budget stood at 16.5 billion. And in the following year, which is currently at 2023, the budget of the agency was slightly lower at 16.06 billion. By allotment class, MOOE accounted for 63.31%, as we see in the slide, in the amount of 10.17 billion, followed by personal services, which stood at 5.9 million in terms of allotment. The breakdown of the MOOE for 2023 is primarily accounted for by the unprogrammed appropriation for the project split, which amounts to 1.55 billion, and the remaining 1.58 billion from the GOP. The other components of MOOE are the general and administrative services, support to operations, and operations. As for the personal services, this represents the wages and salaries of the DAR Central Office, the 15 regional offices, the 78 provincial offices, including the municipal offices nationwide.
I just want to know, when you break down the 63.31, how much is the split for the split program?
Madam Chair, the amount for the split project is from the programmed appropriation, it's 4.55 billion plus the GOP of 1.58
What
billion.
is GOP?
A total of
That is the government of the Philippines, Your Honor. Madam Chairperson, that is the counterpart of the Republic of the Philippines. So
How much is that?
1.58 billion, Madam Chair.
So, that is included in 455 or that is in addition? In addition?
In addition, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
So yung 10 billion a portion split yung 455 doon or that's another budget.
That's kasama na po. Yes.
And then how much is your support? Yung meron kayo ditong project na yung
we have our regular programs, Madam Chair.
yung support services magkano doon?
Yes po. We have the ARB development.
I'm asking this because when I go to plenary, they will ask this. So
Yes.
I just want to be clear.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Support services, magkano?
Uh,
Yung ginagamit mo para ipamigay sa mga ARBs beneficiaries.
we have 866 million, Madam Chair,
And then,
for the ARB Development and Sustainability Program. For the Agrarian Justice Delivery Program, we have 421 million. For the Land Tenure Security Program, 421 million, Madam
And then?
Chair. And the Land Tenure Security Program amounting to 415 million.
So if you add that, yun yung 10 billion.
That totals to 1.702 billion, Madam
Pero
Chair.
kasama yung 455. Yung kasama dun sa 10. How do you
Yes,
break
po.
down the 10
Yes,
billion? Yung MOOE. Kasi may overhead yan eh. Magkano dyan ang overhead mo?
Yes po.
Yung admin expense.
Yes, the general and the admin expense, Madam Chair, amounts to this is the general and administrative support, 1.2848 billion.
So if you add the 1.28, 455, 866.41, parang kulang pa rin doon sa 10 billion.
We have the support to operations or the STO of 156 million,
Mhm.
Madam Chair.
So if you add all of this, yun ang breakdown ng 10 billion.
Yes. Aside from that, Madam Chair, we have also 1 million for the
1 billion.
1 billion, Madam Chair.
For what?
For the ARF. ARF.
Ano yun?
Agrarian Reform Fund, which funded our farm to market roads amounting to 750 million.
So support services din yun.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes po.
FMR,
FMR
Mario.
amounting to 750 million, Madam Chair,
and then
and 250 million for the landowners' compensation.
pag inad mo to, ano na to? Balance ito sa 10?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Wala ka nang naiwan?
Wala na po.
Can you check na? Pag inad mo, hindi. Parang hindi. Five, six. Parang hindi.
If we recap,
Yeah.
kapa.
Okay, add mo
Okay.
lang. Parang ayaw
Yeah.
siya balance ito
Let's
sa
recap
10
po.
billion. Eh.
Yes. The
Ulit.
bulk based
Can you
on
give me na lang the breakdown para mas simple? Isulat mo na lang.
Bigay mo na sa kanya sa
Oo. Parang hindi siya bumabalanse sa 10 billion. Eh. I just want to know what part of the 10 billion is the overhead and what part is the project. Diba? Kasi I always ask that na ilan yung PS, ilan yung overhead, ilan yung projects. So gusto ko lang malaman kung ilan. Ano mo na lang. Problema ng finance, pinagsasama nila yung MOOE at saka yung capital Gusto ko lang ihiwalay yung overhead sa projects. O wag mo ipakita sa akin yan kasi classification niya ng finance. Hindi ganyan ako mag-classify kasi gusto ko makita kung ilan yung PS and overhead nyo tapos ilan yung binibigay nyo para sa mga tao. Kasi allowed sa atin na PSN overhead is 55%. And then the 45% we're supposed to give to the people. Oo. Kaya gusto ko lang makita kung magkano binigay nyo sa mga tao at magkano yung ginasta nyo para sa sarili nyo. Okay lang sa akin yung 55%, but I want to make sure na magkano yung binigay sa mga tao. Very particular ako doon kasi I would like to think na hindi naman dapat na wala tayong programa para sa mga tao, 'di ba? I just want the
Yes.
breakdown. Kaya tinatanong ko how it's broken down. So,
455. Yes po.
kasi sinabi nila maximum daw na kinukuha natin for PSN overhead is 55%. Tapos yung 45% dapat ibinibigay na sa mga tao. Except if you have a certain regulatory work. So medyo tumataas yung PSN overhead. So I just want to do the breakdown para I'm convinced that you have given something to the people. So, sige.
Madam Chair, for the breakdown of the MOOE,
Saka CO, yung capital,
yes,
oo.
for the capital outlay,
Kasi
actually,
yung capital outlay, marami yan eh. May capital outlay for the office, may capital outlay for the people. Kaya gusto ko lang i-break down what is for the people and what is for the office. Oo. So, magkano lumabas?
yes. Madam Chair,
Ang PS sigurado tayo, na yon 5.893, di ba? Tapos yung overhead talaga at saka yung yung projects and programs.
yes.
Magkano yung overhead?
For the overhead, Madam Chair, we have the general and administrative support,
Yes, oo.
which is 1.2 billion.
Oo, tapos
We have the STO or support to operations, which is 156 million. For support to operations, we have 1.7 billion. And for the ARF
This is supposed to be part of the program. It should be classified under the program.
ARF.
Because, yes, because this is
Under
the
the program. So,
FMR.
ang nasa overhead mo is 1.2, 158, so 1,350, 3 billion
Yes, Madam Chair.
ang nasa overhead mo. Tapos, yung programs and projects mo magkano?
6 billion for project split, Madam Chair.
6 billion. Pag inad mo yun, 9 billion lang, you have 10 billion.
Madam Chair, may I be allowed
Yes,
to?
yes.
Madam Chair, because when it comes to the, as you have said earlier, what we are, the projects that we have for the people, we have a total, including already the government counterpart, the government,
Yeah, I know
yeah.
that. I know that.
and the loan, about 6 billion,
Oh,
Your Honor. And
so
then
it's
we have,
455 at saka 1.56 billion. Oh.
yes, Your Honor.
Gosh.
And we have, Your Honor, 1 billion, which is chargeable against the Agrarian Reform Fund, of which 750 million of it are for
FMR.
farm to market roads.
Oh,
And then the balance of 250 million is earmarked for landowners compensation, Your Honor. So all in all, including the 3 billion that we have discussed earlier, that's already amounting to 10 billion plus. Your
yeah, but you have others, May 866,
Maliliit na lang ho yun.
866, 421. Saan ang galing? Ba't sumobra ng 10 billion? Yung Agrarian Reform Fund,
Yes, ma'am.
hindi, over yon. So, bale, may 1 billion ka na miscellaneous projects. Tama?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I just want that accounted for para I feel,
When
kasi
it
pag
comes to,
pinagsama yung 5.8 at saka 3, 8 point, almost 9. Meron binigay sa inyo. So itong nyo, yung 6 billion nyo na for split in addition yun sa budget nyo. Hindi yung part ng 10.
alin po yung sa split po, kasama po doon.
Sa 10 yun?
Yes, ma'am.
Kasama
ba't pag
po,
inad mo?
6.
Kasi
six
nakalagay mo, PS mo is 5 point, parang 5.9, di ba?
Opo.
Tapos yung overhead mo, sabi mo 3 billion. Di 8.9 na yon. Parang sobra sa 10.
Iba ho yung 5.8 sa PS po. Pagkatapos doon po yung breakdown po ng MOE is that 6 billion is earmarked for split. And then 1 billion is chargeable against the Agrarian Reform Fund. And the rest of 3 billion is yun yung mga maliliit na ho yun, yung sa operations na yun, di ba? Meron din ho,
May overhead ka.
yes, ma'am. The overhead is only 1.2 billion, ma'am.
Sabi niya 3 billion eh.
And, may I correct her, ma'am?
Yeah, there's something.
Yes.
Yeah, magkano is the overhead?
1.2 billion, ma'am.
1.2 lang.
Yes.
Yung iba sa projects na yon.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so, bali, 6, 7,
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
7. Six, 7, 8 plus 1. Okay. Okay na. Okay. 10. So, parang ang budget mo is not,
page 16, ma'am. 1607, ma'am. If we add the PS and the MOOE, ma'am, it's totaling to 16.6 billion, ma'am. Di ba?
Sinabi dito. Sinabi dito 9.3 ang billion ang budget nyo this year. Pero 15 yan eh. So may binigay sa inyo in addition.
Your Honor,
Split
Your Honor,
program.
yes.
Baka yun.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oo.
The budget that we are discussing
Kasama yung split.
at present, ma'am, kasama po yung split.
Oo. Pero that's in addition to your regular budget.
Yes, ma'am.
Oo. Kaya lumaki ng 15
Yes,
billion.
ma'am.
Kasi
Yes, ma'am.
dito
16.
9393 lang eh.
This is the 2023 budget, ma'am.
So 6 plus 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Yung split is plus 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Diba?
And
Okay.
if you will allow us, ma'am,
Mm.
we would like to also highlight our accomplishments.
Okay, go ahead. I just want to clarify yung budget nyo kasi baka yun ang tanungin sa akin.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
actually, 9 billion lang ang budget nyo but you were given an extra 6 for the split program.
Yes, ma'am.
Yun. Kaya naging 15. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, may I yield the floor to Undersecretary Mylene Baruwayap
Yeah.
so she can also highlight the three program pillars of the Department of Agrarian Reform. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, Madam Chairman. The DAR has three program thrusts or pillars. The first one is the land distribution and tenurial security program. Two is the agrarian justice delivery program. And then we have the support services, but there's a longer title for that. It's the Agrarian Reform Beneficiaries Development and Sustainability Program. For the land distribution and tenurial security, there are two components. The first component is the regular land distribution, and the other component is the support for parcelization of lands for individual titling, which is more popularly known as Project Split. For the regular land acquisition and distribution component, the distribution accomplishments are as follows. For the period July to December 2022, the total number of titles distributed is 15,140 titles, covering 16,167 hectares to 17,859 agrarian reform beneficiaries. For this year, from January to October 2023, we have distributed 17,379 titles, covering 15,817 hectares and benefiting 16,843 agrarian reform beneficiaries. In total, for the 15-month period from July 2022 to October 2023, the total number of land titles distributed under the regular land distribution program is 32,519 titles. Compared to the 15-month period prior from March 2021 to June 2022, the total number of titles distributed was only 15,297 titles, which represent only 47% of the accomplishment for the year comparative period from July 2022 to October 2023. The remaining distribution balance for the regular land program stands at 268,716 hectares, which is projected to benefit some 223,930 agrarian reform beneficiaries. Of this number, this 268,716 hectares, 101 hectares, 101,796 hectares are under the supervision or the jurisdiction of the BARMM. The DAR presently is in coordination with the BARM through the MAFAR to establish or firm up partnerships in terms of facilitating the distribution of the lands under BARM and to establish coordinating mechanisms for the provision of support services to the ARBs that will be covered by the lands under the BARMM. Now for the project split. From the period July to December 2022, a total number of 6,736 e-titles, electronic titles, were distributed to 6,945 ARBs, and these titles cover 8,991 hectares. For January to October 2023, we distributed 37,130 electronic titles to 32,532 ARBs, and the whole hectareage is 49,593 hectares. For the grand total for the 15-month period from July 2022 to October 2023, the total number of e-titles is 46,208 e-titles, a significant, very significant increase of 1,872% from the base level of 2,343 e-titles distributed for the comparable 15-month prior period from March 2021 to June 2022. Kaya malinaw po na na-accelerate po namin ang distribution ng electronic titles through the project split. We have a remaining 128,300 collective CLOAs that still have to be subject to parcelization, and this covers 1.28 million hectares for an estimated number of ARB agrarian reform beneficiaries at 1.075 million. The next one is a summary graph, the next please, of the accomplishments for both the project split component and the regular LAD component. If you would notice, Madam Chairperson, the total number of titles distributed from July 2022 to October 2023 stands at 54,509 titles compared to only 17,640 titles from March 2021 to June 2022, which is simply 23% of the total 76,385 from July 2022 to October 2023. The summary data shows that we are now standing at 76,385 titles for 2023 alone, covering 90,568 hectares and benefiting 74,179 ARBs. The Secretary of the Department promised to Congress, both houses of both the Senate and the House of Representatives, that we will accomplish 50,000 titles to be distributed for 2023. And we are very happy to underscore that we have now exceeded the target for 2023 by 26,300 titles.
Just want to ask one question. How long will you finish the split program? What year?
The projection for if it is extended, ma'am, but apparently in principle, they have agreed to extend already.
Yeah,
It's up
it's
to 20
it's for 3 years, di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Actually,
kailan
accelerated
matatapos? Kasi na bumagal nung first year because COVID, di ba?
Yes, yes.
So, kailan kayo, that's 2020?
2020.
Madam Chairman, may I have permission to speak, please?
Yes.
Yes, the contract will end on 2024, December 31st, but at this moment, the World Bank mission is with us in the central office, and we're already moving forward to have it extended. We've
So,
discussed
dapat ang original year is
2024, December 31st.
end.
Yes, supposed to be
Pero yung beginning no, 2021.
2020.
2020
October of 2020, the contract was commenced.
to 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
And then that's 2020. Nagsimula 2021, 2022, 2023,
Yes.
2024.
Yes, ma'am.
4 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And then
We are-
medyo bumagal no first year because of COVID.
First 2 years,
So,
ma'am.
first 2 years. So ngayon, kailan nila i-extend?
We are already presenting to them the extension plan. And hopefully, we will be able to have it extended by next year, by February, March. And we are asking them to extend it for another 3 years.
So 2024, 2025, 2026,
27.
2027.
December 31, 2027.
As of today, ilan ba ipo-process nyo total?
Meron pa po,
Hindi, ang total na ipo-process nyo tapos ngayon magkano na kayo tapos ano yung tatapusin sa 2027? Yung beginning. Yung beginning nung magsimula kayo ng 2021.
as of 2021
We
pala.
will be,
Yung ngayon, ma'am, ang meron kaming
Yung 2021, ilan yung
the target area, ma'am, is 1,368,000 hectares.
368
yeah.
million hectares. Ngayon, tapos ano natapos nyo today?
At this very moment, ma'am, we're reaching
Ito na lang is 1.2.
1.2 million hectares, ma'am.
Ngayon?
No, we're catching up. We're
Hindi, ano ang accomplishment nyo as of today?
7, yun.
61,978 hectares.
Ilan?
61,978 hectares tayo ngayon, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, ang natitira pa,
Is 1.2, ma'am.
1.2 million hectares.
Yes, ma'am.
So, today ang natapos nyo 61? Mas malaking 1.2 natitira.
Oo, ma'am.
Diba?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
But
ma'am.
yung
Hindi, kasi sabi mo 1.368 ba?
Yes, ma'am.
61 ka lang, di 1.3 pa.
Yes, that is correct, ma'am. But
1.280, ma'am.
1.280 is left.
1.280.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not, hindi balance eh.
With another 3 years,
You give me a good report on that kasi 1.368 minus 61 is dapat 1.3 something. Diba?
ma'am, just for information, ma'am, we've already validated 700 plus thousand, 714,000 hectares of area, ma'am. And then with the takeoff point ng LRA and DAR doing their groundworks, ma'am, with all this, we could, with another 3 years
Kaya
of
ang
extension.
sinasabi ko sa iyo,
Mm-mm.
sabi mo, ang beginning is 1.368.
Yes.
Ang natapos mo as of today is 61,000 or 62,000.
Yes.
Di pag minus mo yung 68 sa 62, di 1.306.
Ma'am,
Sa akin, 1.2. Hindi siya balanse.
yung labas sa ROD sa LRA, ma'am, by this year, ma'am, is like 130 plus.
So, end of the year.
Yes, end of the year,
So,
ma'am. It's now, yes,
ayusin mo.
yes, ma'am.
Kasi tatanungin ako sa plenary, baka mamaya mali sagot ko. Tingnan mo ako ng maayos na suma kasi sinusuma ko hindi nagbabalanse eh. Oh.
We'll do that, ma'am.
Oh, huwag mo sabihing end of the year because that's a
Yeah.
promise. Yung date ngayon.
Yes,
Oo.
yes.
And then, magkano matitira, tapos you hope to finish that by 2027. O, ano ang projection mo every year?
We do
Para matapos mo ng 2027. Pakita mo lang sa akin kasi para pag tinanong ako, alam ko
Yes,
na
ma'am.
ang
We're
sasagutin.
working together with LRA, ma'am, and hopefully LRA can produce e-titles. Yung judicial forms, ma'am, we already have transferred it to them, so it's on process.
Meron lang ito mo for the rest, pero hindi pwede.
62,000 sa ngayon. Yes, we all have the data. We'll give it to you, ma'am.
Mag-projection kayo ng yung
For you.
parang
Per year.
Projected
Ano?
every.
Per year.
halimbawa, 1.3 million.
Mm-mm.
Eh,
It's a-
every year, ilan ang gagawin mo? O, kasi 2024, 2025, 2026, 4 years. 1.3 million divided by 4 is dapat makagawa ka ng for 300,000 titles every year. Kaya nyo ba yun?
Yes, ma'am. We have, while we are discussing it here, ma'am, we're also explaining this to the World Bank. So all of this will be, thoroughly be,
Ito mo lang sa
Yes,
akin kasi tatanungin ako sa floor dyan.
we'll submit it to you, ma'am.
Kasi wala naman akong pakialam sa World Bank.
Yes.
Pakialam ako doon sa tanong ng senador
Yes.
na masagot ko kasi magmumukha akong tanga pag hindi ko nasagot. And you should make a projection.
Yes, until 2027.
Wala tayong problema today. Walang senador. Pero pag ang problema na walang senador, sa plenary ako tatanungin yan. Senador.
Sa ending man.
Okay, so magawa ka lang ng projection.
Yes, ma'am. We have it now.
Yung 2027 na sinasabi mo.
Yes, ma'am. We have,
Kaya mo ba talaga 300,000 titles every year? 300,000.
Ma'am, may I answer that, ma'am?
Yes.
I think I have more reason to be optimistic with 300 a year, because in the first year, we were so occupied with the validation. We were so engaged with the validation. Now that we have validated about 95% of it,
700,000. I think that's not 96%.
ano yung sa validation, ma'am? The field validation, ma'am. We were able to validate. So, more or less, ma'am, itong following years, we will not be too engaged anymore with the validation. Tuloy na yan, ma'am, ang pag-issue namin ng we will- because, ma'am, in the past, ang naging problema po natin ay yung siyempre hindi lang naman DAR ang gumagalaw dito eh. Even the LRA, and we are very thankful to the administrator, ma'am, because he has given us his full support. And this time, in fact, there are many times that we will to encounter shortage of judicial forms. But for the coming year, kompleto na po kami. We are poised to really accelerate
Kasi
distribution.
wala akong
of items.
nakitang history ng DAR na nakagawa sila ng 300,000 a year. Usually, 50,000 eh. 50,000 a year ang nakikita ko in all my years dito. 50,000 lang ang ano eh. So, mabigat yung 300,000.
We will try our best, ma'am.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were,
Kasi ang original ng split program binigay ng World Bank 3 years, di ba? And then, mag-extend tayo ng another 3 years, di ba? Kasi 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027. So, mabigat yan.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay lang.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you
We
make
will
Yes,
try our best.
projection.
I will show you the projection, ma'am.
Okay.
But at this moment, ma'am, at this very moment, 700 plus na yung na-validate. So, the
But
LR,
700 plus is 1.3 yan.
yes,
So,
ma'am.
may
But
500, may kahalos kalahati ka pa.
with another 5 years, ma'am, we will do our best.
Okay. Sige, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
May we now go to the Agrarian Justice Delivery Program? The number of cases resolved and adjudicated for the period January to September 2023. For agrarian adjudication or DARAB cases, the beginning caseload for the year is 17,904 and 15,078 cases have been resolved for a resolution rate of 84.22%. For agrarian law implementation cases, the caseload for the beginning of the year was 16,700 cases. Resolved were 9,810 cases for a resolution rate of 61.29%. For the court-bound cases, in January, the caseload was 1,099, and the accomplishment is 584 cases resolved for a resolution case of 53.14%. For the quasi-judicial cases, we had a beginning caseload in January of 13,770 cases, and the accomplishment is 12,634 cases resolved for a resolution rate of 91.75%. Attention has been paid to sa mga tinatawag po nating vintage cases na nag-pending, long pending with the department. More notably, the Hacienda Tinang case in Concepcion, Tarlac, which has been resolved after 30 years. There is also the case of the Golden Country Farms in Mamburao, Occidental Mindoro. It was resolved with the land titles distributed after 35 years. To accelerate the disposition of agrarian cases and the determination of responsive solutions to agrarian disputes, the DAR embarked on the hiring of new competent lawyers to beef up its legal workforce. Through a scrap and build strategy, unfilled positions were scrapped to create 63 new positions of new attorney for. Mas mataas na po ngayon ang sweldong ino-offer sa mga abogado sa DAR, and hopefully they will stay with us in the long term given the bigger salaries offered to most of them. The next one is 20 for the support services. Ang support services, this would refer to distribution of farm machineries and equipment, farm inputs, farm infrastructure and facilities, including their training components. For 2023, for 363 agrarian reform organizations were provided with this support services, costing the department 490 million pesos. In cooperation with implementing agencies, from July to December 2022, the department completed 236.82 kilometers of farm-to-market roads, serving 237 agrarian reform communities for a total cost of 2.9 billion. The figures for December 2023 are still to be in, as the release of the funds have been delayed. In cooperation with the National Irrigation Administration, among the convergent projects, 53 irrigation projects, which included some solar-powered irrigation projects, were completed, servicing 1,778.71 hectares of farmland for a total cost of 640.7 million pesos. Nagkaroon din po ng iba't ibang trainings by the DAR itself and in cooperation with other departments and agencies like Department of Agriculture, Department of Trade and Industry, and TESDA, and about 538,000 various types of trainings were conducted to benefit about 486,000 farmers trained and served. In addition to these farm equipments, facilities, machineries, and infrastructure, as well as training, credit facilities were also made available for agrarian reform beneficiaries. The Land Bank opened a 10 billion Land Bank credit funding facility for agrarian reform beneficiaries. More than the amount of the credit facility opened by Land Bank for agrarian reform beneficiaries, they also streamlined the loan processes to shorten it. Kasi po dati pagkakapal-kapal po ng requirement na documents for you to apply for loans, and it took a long time before this could be acted upon. Ngayon po, pinaiksi na po yung proseso at ang application form was reduced from 17 or 18 pages to 1 page only.
Just want to ask, did the farmers borrow from the land bank directly or they pass through their co-ops?
Some directly na co-op, ma'am, some directly tig-isa.
Ilang percentage?
We
ang
will,
directly and
yung
ilan
direct, we asked for data from Land Bank kasi hindi
Yeah,
ko
yeah.
namin
Kasi usually they pass through the
The
co-op
co-op,
eh.
yes, ma'am.
Kasi hindi nila kaya yung
Mag-isa silang
nagpipila.
magbayad.
Oo. I just want to know ilang percentage ang
Uh,
direct and ilang
we
percentage
will
yung
submit
through
the,
co-op. Yeah.
the data that is from Land Bank, ma'am. Yung ano, ma'am, they also mobilize their Land Bank ground personnel to go directly to the ARBOS and the co-ops to help the farmers fill up the loan applications.
They had a difficulty going directly to the farmers. So usually ini-encourage natin through co-ops na lang. Yung co-op ang pautangin nila tapos yung
At mas-
co-op ang nagpapautang sa
At mas
farmers.
madaling ma-monitor po kasi pag
Oo.
co-ops.
Kasi yung co-op,
organizations.
kilala nila yung mga farmers.
Yes.
Eh yung land bank, hindi nila kilala yung mga farmers.
Yes, ma'am.
Kaya hirap. Oo.
Yes, ma'am. Agree. As a final note, we have also hired a new 96 agrarian reform program officer positions to beef up our provincial and regional personnel to help in the distribution and monitoring of support services given to our agrarian reform beneficiaries. So for the 2024 proposed budget of the department, ma'am, may give you back Yusek Lani for the discussion.
Undersecretary Marilyn Yap. Madam Chair, I'm presenting the fiscal year 2024 National Expenditure Program, or our NEP for 2024, in the amount of 9,393,000,000. In terms of the breakdown for the MOOE, the amount is 3.88 billion, with the PS amounting to 5.504 billion, and the very minimal capital outlay allocation of 9 million. For our new, as additional information, for the new appropriation.
Hali dyan yung split, di ba?
Not yet, Madam
Yeah.
Chair.
So yung 9 billion,
Yes,
yung
po.
6 billion na split.
Yes, Madam
Okay.
Chair. The new appropriations is 8.89 billion, which is 94.7%. And the automatic appropriations broken down into the retirement and life insurance premium of 0.44 billion, and the agrarian reform fund of 0.06 billion. So that would make a total of our total budget for the fiscal year 2024, 9,393,000,000. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. There is a note here from Senator Bongo. Let it be put into record that Senator Bongo is in full support of the budget of the Department of Agrarian Reform. And of course, there are no senators present, so I move, I just want you to submit what I'm asking for so that I will have enough materials for the plenary session. But I move to suspend the hearing of the budget of the Department of Agrarian Reform. We will now, you can leave now, and then we will now call the DA for the continuation of their hearing. went on a hearing, I asked them to prepare yung multi-year nilang performance. And I noticed lang na merong, can you explain na nag-start ng 2012 6.84? No. Nag-start ng 2013, 6.84, 28.42. Yung below 50% ang performance which started in 2013. Why below 50% pa as of today? Lalo na yung yung 2018 mga napakababa ng performance, nasa 10% lang. Below 10% pa. Can you explain this? Itong inano nyo na yung multi-year nyo. So, noong 2013, ang kino-question ko yung everything below, explanation dito, below 50% na nag-start pa noong 2013, tsaka 2016. Tapos yung nag-start ng 2018 na lahat may below pa 10% ang bababa ng performance. Tapos ano yung walang performance, yung nakablangka? Please explain to me, sino bang nito?
Madam Senator, may I recognize Admin Gillian?
Yeah, but bago siya eh.
Oo
Sino
nga.
ba yung
Then,
sino
you-
pinaka-old timer doon? Para explain to. Explain lang ito. Si Kuya. Okay. Ano ba to? Bigay mo natin. Kay Kuya. Katulad nito, 2013 Bagtingon Small Reservoir Irrigation Project, 6.84 ang performance. Ano problema nito? 6% is 7% lang ang nagawa nyo. Ano problema nito?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ako po si Engineer Ferdinand Sales. Yung pong Bagtingon, ma'am, na kuha nito, nasa pre-construction stage pa lang po.
Ano?
Pre-construction stage pa lang po.
To 2013 eh.
Natigil po kasi ito, ma'am, nung
Bakit?
dahil may problema po sa
Sa
PAMBI, yung environmental
ba't nyo ginawa?
Hindi pa ginagawa, ma'am.
Hindi nga, pero 2013 project, di abandon nyo na kung may problema kaysa ilalagay mo sa performance mo 7%. 2013, that's 10 years ago. You have to decide whether to abandon the project or to continue with the project.
Nakuha na po yung, ma'am, yung mga requirements and then tapos na rin po yung design niya, ma'am. Katatapos lang po.
Oh, gagawin nyo na
Yes, ma'am.
after 10 years.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. Actually po, ma'am, na-bring out na namin ito. Nagkaroon kami ng meeting last week lamang ng DNR at i-bring out namin yung mga concerns like nade-delay po kasi sa environmental issues. So, yung ECC,
Bakit kayo nagpo-propose ng project na hindi okay ang environmental issues? Dapat ang dami-dami nating gagawin. Bakit kailangan i-recommend nyo na gawin ng project na may environmental issues and it will
Yeah.
take you 10 years to solve. Sayang naman yung nilagay yung pera doon. Buti hindi bumalik ang pera.
Well, ma'am, actually po ito ay hindi pa yung nailalagay doon na pera mo, ma'am, ay yung
May
mga pang
pera
reconstruction muna. Like for feasibility study, part po kasi ng po ito, ng preliminary engineering po. Yung
kasi
detail engineering.
alam mo kaya tinanggal ko yung budget nyo sa feasibility study.
Mm.
Bakit ba kayo feasibility ng feasibility? Di gawin nyo na lang yung yung feasible at wag nyo nang gumawa. Kasi imagine 2.5 billion for feasibility study na hindi ko maintindihan nyo. Kasi wala naman kayo masyadong pera. Di gawin nyo na lang yung something feasible kesa mag-feasibility study kayo na hindi naman sinasayang nyo yung pera doon, di ba? About 2.5 billion a year for feasibility study. Bakit? Ang trabaho nyo ba gumawa ng feasibility study o gumawa ng irrigation facilities? Hindi naman kayo trabaho nyo yung gumawa ng feasibility study.
Forbidden.
Kung ako kayo, practical ako, gagawin ko na lang what is feasible. Sa limited budget nyo, bakit nyo sasayangin ang pera nyo sa feasibility study?
Actually, ma'am, yun po yung aming trust na yun. Ang nakita kasi namin na below 2.5 billion ay hindi naman nire-require ng NEDA yung feasibility study. So, when I assume office, lahat po ng FS below 2.5 billion ay pinapatanggal po natin. Bagamat nire-require lang ng yung tinatawag na preliminary engineering, yung detailed engineering lang po, ma'am. Ang ginagawa natin ngayon is that yung geotechnical study para magawa lamang po natin yung design.
Ano ba yun?
Yun lang. Kailangan po kasi, ma'am, na magkaroon ng geotechnical para
Bakit kailangan? Kung ako kayo, yung may mga problema, wag nyo na intindihin nyo. Gawin nyo na lang yung walang problema, di ba?
Tama.
Para mas marami kayong ma-accomplish. Ba't nyo sasayangin ng panahon nyo at pera nyo doon sa mga may problema? Katulad nito, after 10 years, hindi magawa. In the first place, hindi nyo na dapat ginawa.
Tama po, ma'am. Kaya po, ngayon, ma'am, policy.
Dito, balong-balong, phase 2, 50%. Oh.
Yeah.
Hindi ba ito yung balog-balog na to, tarlak to? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, 50% pa lang hanggang ngayon. Kung ako si Pinoy, pagbababariling ko kayo pag hindi nyo tinapos ang balog-balog during my term. Oh. Diba? Kaya ka naging presidente para tapusin mo yung project do sa bayan mo. Hindi mo after namatay na si Pinoy 2023, 50%.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, Madam Chair, pinamadali na po namin yung aming proseso ngayon. Ang unang tanong ngayon is that kung may nagre-request na mga proponent, so ang tanong, may lupa bang irrigate natin? At kung titingnan namin kaagad kung may source at kung may request, so wala pong problema ito sa...
Ito, particularly 2018. Lahat ng 2018, 10%. Below 10% pa iba. Ito, Bayawan Small Reservoir, Pangasinan, 12%. Cabano Small Reservoir, Guimaras, 12%. Bohol, Hivales, lahat ng 2018, 16%. Tapos North Cotabato, 16%. Ilocos Norte, 1%. Cagayan, 6%. Pampanga, 5%. Iloilo and Capiz, 2%. Ano ba yan? Lahat, 2018. Ito, 2019, 10%, 1%, 19%. Mas marami yung below 10% kesa yung umasenso. Tapos ano tong may question, yung walang nakalagay? Ano ba to? Itong Lusot, Kalapangan, Balasig, walang nakalagay . Ano ibig sabihin nito?
Ma'am, actually, for procurement na po yan, for bidding na po yung mga yan, ma'am.
Ba't
Actually,
hindi
pa
nakalagay doon?
Ayun.
Status, percentage physical accomplishment, mga walang nakalagay. Ano ito, huhulaan namin, di dapat nilagay nyo for bidding or what? To 20, di ba? Ba't hindi nilagyan to?
Well, actually, ma'am, yan din ang tinatanong ko na yung process, yung
Kasi ako lang nakaisip na yung inyong project na multi-year gumawa kayo ng ganito kasi para makita natin kung ano nangyayari. So first time yung gumawa ng ganito tapos makikita natin 5%, 10%. Ano ba to? Ha?
ma'am, actually, yun ang tinatanong ko ron kasi ang ipinakita nila sa inyo is yung
Eh, ano sasabihin
pre-construction.
ko pag tinanong ako ng senador, ba't ganito to? Ano ang
Pre-construction.
reason ko?
Actually po ma'am, dapat hindi, pre-construction po kasi itong mga inilagay nila ma'am.
Pero meron ditong 2018 eh. But in 2018 ba, pre-construction pa yun?
Hindi pa po, karamihan dito ma'am is for bidding pa lang. Ang ginawa kasi nila,
2018 for bidding? Hindi for bidding to, may accomplishment, kaya lang below 10%. Nabid na to. Ang sama ng accomplishment. Hindi ba dapat kung ganito kayo, tapusin nyo muna yung tapos wag na kayo mag-start uli. Tapusin nyo muna to. Otherwise, bakit puro 10% to, 5%? 2018. Ba't pa kayo magsisimula ng bago kung yung existing nyo hindi nyo maayos?
ma'am, yan yung tinatanong ko nung pinaprepare nila ito, bakit ka po inilalagay yung mga, hindi pa nasisimulan. So, technically, hindi pa nagsisimula yung project, nandoon pa lang sila sa start.
2018, hindi pa nasisimula.
Ang,
Nasimula na to kasi ang performance is 5% and 10%. Masyado lang mababa. 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 2018 is 23, 5 years ago, di ba? Ba't ganito ang performance?
okay. Ang sinasabi nila ma'am is that, nung masimulan yung project na i-bid, maliliit lang yung natatanggap nila na yearly allocation. Kaya unti-unti pong hindi po full blown. Dapat
Magre-request ng hindi nyo kayang gawin or hindi kayo mabibigyan ng budget. Pag nilagay sa budget yon, that means may allocation yon. Ibig mo sabihin, gagawa kayo ng project, dahan-dahan kayong bibigyan. Di ba pag binigyan ka ngayon ng year, meron yung pera? Pwede bang walang pera yon? Yung Sombilya, pwede ba yon? Na inilagay na project, walang pera, kaya binigay for the year, meron yung pera eh. Meron yun.
Actually ma'am, the past 2 weeks ay nakikipag-ugnayan po kami sa DBM.
Kayo
at saka
may
sa
problema dito kasi nakalagay dito, allotment release. At katulad nito, mag-sample tayo. Nakalagay allotment release. 6/23, date of start 2013. Allotment release as of 6/30/2023, 343 million. Obligation incurred as of 184 million. Tapos ang physical accomplishment is 7%. Na-release na yung kalahati, di ba?
Ang presentation daw po kasi na lang, for example, itong Bayawas, ang total allocation ng project is 944 million. Ang na-receive na cash is
Saan
107.
yun? Anong page yun?
Okay. Page 4, ma'am. Sa taas. Yung Bayawas is
Bayawas. Oh.
example lang po, ma'am. So, ang total amount of project cost is 944 million.
Mm.
Pero yung allotment release was 170 million. So, ito po,
Nakalagay dito, allotment release is 270 million.
170, ma'am.
270.
Bayawas, ma'am.
270 nga.
Number 29, ma'am.
270.
270. Up
Yes.
to two. Okay, please na nila ito. Alright, up to 2023 yan, ma'am. Ano po. So, as of 2022, na-spend nila yung 140 million. Ilan ang spend nyo ng 2023?
Ganun ba ang policy nila? I-identify tapos hindi i-release? We'll ask coming from finance. Policy ba yun? Di ba pag inallocate yun, i-release yun? Kaya siguro hindi nire-release, hindi nagagawa. Di ba? May DBM po. Nasaan ang DBM?
Binababaan nila yung yung allocation.
Kasi
Magkano ba yung pinag-post?
alam mo, kung ganyan ng mas maganda pa, mas less project, pero mas ginagawa. Kaysa kadami-dami yung project, puro 5%, 10%. Ano yan? Di walang impact yan sa tao. Ano bang kulukuhan yun?
Meron tayong
Anong impact yan sa tao? Madami-daming project na wala nang kayo nagagawa. Ba't yung ginagawa yan? Konti, listahan lang yan. Konti, ano na lang ang project na gawin nyo. Ayun lang nakakita ng ganyan. Nasaan ang DBM? Tawagin mo yung DBM. Ganito ba dapat? Di ba dapat mas konting project pero mas ginagawa? Kaysa kadami-daming project, puro simula.
Yes, ma'am. May matatag.
Wala namang mangyayari dyan. Ano ba mga koto?
Ma'am, ang ginagawa kasi nila,
Yung una, napansin ko sa inyo, puro kayo feasibility study. Ba't kayo mag-feasibility study? Wala nga kayong pera. Gawin nyo na lang. Yung pala, ganito rin kayo. Katakot-takot ang project, walang natatapos, puro 10%. Ano ba yan? Lukuhan ba yan? Puro salita lang yan, walang ginagawa. Kaya pala ganito agriculture natin.
Yung naka-brown box siya.
Nakita mo ba yung listahan nila na ang dami-dami nila ng project, puro 10%? Bakit tayo gagawa ng tigte 10% na project? Di kahit kontian natin ang project pero matapos natin, di ba? Ano ba yung policy nyo dito? Sabi hindi nyo daw sila nire-releasean.
Actually, Madam Chair, nire-releasean po namin sila kasama po sila sa mga agencies or GOCCs na comprehensively released po yung budget nila.
Ng budget dito. Yun, kung
Nai-release
bakit ganito to? 2018, puro 10%, 5%, 5 years ago.
yung implementation po kasi nasa sa kanila po yun. Kaya nga po, ang evaluation namin, tinitignan po namin yung utilization rate nila. And tinitignan din po namin kung
So, wala silang natatapos, puro sila simula. Pumapayag kayo ng ganyan. Ba't hindi nyo papatagal ang niya pag ganyan? Ako magmamanage, tapos puro 10% to, 2018, after 5 years, patatanggal ko sila. Bali, wala sila. Wala pala silang natatapos eh.
Madam Chair, ganito po kasi yan. Like, yung releases nila yearly, nai-spend naman ng NIA. Kaya lang, for example, yung isang project ay 900 million.
I will ask her.
Magre-release sila.
200, 2018, 10%, 5% ang accomplishment. 2018, that was 5 years ago. At nire-reason nila, hindi nyo nire-release. Kaya daw hindi nila nagagawa. Kaya tinatanong ko sa inyo, meron bang ganon na in-identify mo for the year, hindi mo kayang i-release? Hindi ba kaya mo in-identify, ganun lang? Kasi yun lang ang kaya mong i-release. Ba't nila inire-reason na hindi nyo nire-release? Totoo ba yun?
Madam Chair, nire-release po namin agad yung, actually, ang release nga po namin, SARO at saka NCA na starting 2020. So, meron na po silang pang-obligate, meaning pwede na po nilang ikontrata yun, i-implement nila. Mari po yung 2018, ang nai-release lang namin ay SARO, na obligate na po nila yung payment, ano po siya kasi progress billing. Pero starting 2020 po kasi kung ano yung kanilang budget, inire-release na po namin yun ng buo.
Ma'am, for example po, itong FY 2024, ang release nila is 100 million. Ang cost ng project is 900 million.
Nakakatawa. Naiinis ako.
So, well, yung release nila, totoong nagre-release sila, ma'am, pero hindi the whole project amount.
Ako, common sense, hindi ilalagay sa budget nyo nang walang pera. Kaya nga nililimit ang budget nyo, yun lang ang kaya. Oh. Tapos sasabihin nyo sa akin hindi kayo nire-releasean kaya hindi nyo nagagawa.
Nire-release lang, but not the whole amount.
5 years, 10%? Bakit mo pa in-identify?
Ang intindi ko po dun sa table po nila, yung total budget ng irrigation facility is 900 million. Every year po, nagre-release, progress billing nga yung sinasabi nga ni DBM, nagre-release ng 100, for example. Doon sa 100 po na nirelease ng year na yon, na-accomplish naman nila 100%. Pero as you...
2018 10%, 5% ang na-accomplish, 5 years, 5%. Ano
Hindi
ba
ko
yun?
makala ko 100%.
Madam Chair.
Ako question,
Hindi, pero
2018,
2018 daw kasi.
5%.
Yung nirelease na
Paano mo na sinabi na gano'n? 2018, ito, 2018 to 2025,
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
Ako, sinusuma ko lang, 2018 yung project. Ang accomplishment mo 10%, meron pang 1%, may 6%, 2018 may 4%, may 1.9%. Ano ba yan? Bakit pa in-identify yan?
Madam Chair, yung table,
Sino may kasalanan, DBM o kayo?
Madam Chair, yung po palang table na tinitignan ninyo, apologies po, hindi ko po kasi nakita yung table. Yan po kasi yung listahan ng kanilang mga projects. Yung nakikita po ninyo is the implementation period. Meron po siya nakalagay na total estimated project cost, implementation period, tas date of start, tas yung allotment released. Ang nangyayari po dyan, while na-compute na po nila yung total estimated cost ng project at nailagay na po nila yung implementation period. Ang nangyayari po, yung kanilang annual
Allotment release is
Opo.
444. Tapos, obligation incurred is 422. That's 1/3. But ang accomplishment, 10%.
Kasi nga po, multi-year po yung implementation.
Miskin na, 5 years, 10%. Kung multi-year, kung 5 years, kung 100 million, di dapat may 50% accomplishment na. 10%, kung ikaw after 5 years, 10% lang ang magagawa mo, ba't mo pa ginawa? Sinayang mo lang yung pera, wala namang
Madam Chair, meron po akong solution na sinasabi sa kanila.
Katulad nito, 2018.
May propose.
6%.
Kasi ang gusto ko mangyari,
5 years.
May solution po ako dyan para mapabilis ang accomplishment natin. Kasi,
Kasi kung halimbawa, hindi nyo kaya na kayong bigyan doon, bakit mo pa in-identify? Mas maganda, konti na lang ang project, pero natapos after 5 years. Kasi kawawa naman yung beneficiary.
ma'am, kaya natin. Kaya lang po, ang sinasabi kasi nila, ganito po yan. Ang sinasabi nila sa amin lagi, kasi pag mag-release sila, for example, 1 billion yung project, ang release is 100 million. Ang pwede lang daw nilang namin bayaran is 100 million. Ang sinasabi ko po, teka muna ako, kasi may CBI yan ng buo. Kaya ang
Kahit na 100 million lang yung 1 billion. Pero after 5 years, dapat tapos mo na kalahati.
ma'am, kaso nga, tigo 100 million ang release. So, talagang abutin ng 10 million yun.
Pero 100 million o 5 years, di 500 million, kalahati ng project, tapos ba't 10% ka at 6% ka?
Meron po akong solusyon na mas mabilis. Yun po i-work out namin ngayon, ma'am. Ang sabi ko sa kanila, ganito po. Kung matapos namin yung 100 million at ma-obligate namin, siyempre naka-CBI po yan. Meron kaming mga other funds, ma'am eh. Like for example, yung na-terminate sa balok-balok, nasa amin ang cash. Sabi ko, pwede ba naming i-augment? Hihiramin muna namin yung cash para tapusin na namin ito. Parang yung sa highways, ma'am.
Ibig sabihin, kahit 100 million lang per project every year, kung nag-start ka ng 2018, di kalahati na tapos. Diba? Oh. There's something wrong here eh.
Sige, ma'am. Tignan ko po yung mga
Wrong here.
at po, yung mga for bidding na po, ipapabid po natin and I will make sure na yung releases po ay ma-accomplish kagad po. Ma-accomplish within yung sa limit ng releases.
Parang there's something wrong with the system, di ba? Oh. Ayusin nyo to kasi nakakatawa to. Kasi after 5 years, 10%. Bakit after 5 years? Mas kontian natin yung project pero mas mabilis. Tapos wag tayo mag-start nang hindi natin natatapos. Puro simula to eh. Parang ang akin dito, ang tingin ko dito, puro simula eh. Puro simula eh. Walang natatapos. Ano ba to? Magagamit ba to kahit puro simula?
Hindi, ma'am.
Ha? Hindi, tanungin natin sila. Magagamit ba to kung puro simula?
Hindi po, ma'am. Dapat po talaga
O, it's nga project at tapusin.
Yan na lang yung
Ma'am, bibigyan na lang po kami ng catch-up plan. Titignan ko yung pwedeng implement kagad. At para yun na lang po ang ano natin.
There's something wrong.
Hindi.
Puro simula to eh. Walang natatapos eh. Bakit gusto niyo yung puro simula? Hindi ba kahit mas konti ang project pero tapos? Kesa puro simula. What will we profit from puro simula? Wag na kayo kumuha ng ibang project. Tapusin niyo muna to.
Ang ginawa nilang presentation dito, kaya gusto ko nga i-correct eh. Sinimulan nila yung start ng project, yung time na ginagawa nila yung plan. Kasi pag ma'am, ang ano yan, gagawin mo yung plan, may EPIC yan, merong environmental compliance, tapos saka mo ipapabid.
Ay na yung project, in-identify 20 ba yung start?
Kasi yung iba forbidding pa eh. Kasi present nila ma'am, na isinama nila yung preparation. Dapat sabi ko, i-present nyo yan the time na mabid. Hindi yung preparation. Kaya mali po yung presentation nila eh.
Natin to.
Yes ma'am. Opo ma'am, babaguhin na pa namin. Mali.
Kasi po, ang na-release lang po sa kanila na pondo, ito lang po, out of po, dun sa total project po.
Oo nga lang, kahit ba iyan na-release?
100 lang po out of 7.1. So talagang maliit lang po talaga yung naano nila.
Bakit nila sisimulan ng ganyan na release?
Dapat
Diba,
po,
ano bang katangahan niya?
dapat po nga, dapat ang tanong sa
Ba't pa nila sinimulan? Di bang nila simulan? Ba't ka magre-release kung hindi mo rin matatapos? Di wag na lang simulan, tapos ibigay na lang yung pera do sa matatapos. Kahit mas konti project, pero matatapos. Hindi yung lahat sinimulan tapos walang matatapos. Ano use na, sa mga tao noon? Di bawasan na lang yung project tapos tapusin? At least may pinakinabangan ng mga tao. Hindi yung lahat sinimulan tapos walang natapos. Munti mo to, oh. Ilang project to, puro 5% at 10%. Ba't puro simula? Ngayon ako nakakita ng ganyan. Di ba tayo, pag hindi natin matatapos, hindi na natin sisimulan.
Tama ngayon.
Right.
Tama yun. Bakit? Ano?
Wilista lahat. Wishlist na.
Hindi wishlist yan. Nirelease na sila.
Dahil hindi.
I think, ma'am, Madam Chair, isaayos lang namin yung presentation and then i-pamit natin para,
The mere fact na nirelease na kayo, start na yan. Ang point ko, huwag na kayong mag-identify ng maraming project. Identify lang yung kayang tapusin, di ba? Tapos, pag natapos na yun, tsaka mag-identify ng panibago. Kasi sa mga tao, mas better yon. Kasi may pinakinabangan sila kaysa puro simula.
Yes, ma'am.
Tama ba yun?
Sige po, ma'am, tama po kayo.
Ikaw ba, kung ikaw sa sarili mo, halimbawa, may gusto mong gawin sa buhay mo, kung hindi mo kaya, wag mo nang gawin, 'di ba? Gawin mo na lang yung kaya mo, 'di ba?
Sige po.
Nang may natatapos. Hindi pwede yung puro tayo simula tapos wala tayong matatapos. Kawawa naman yung mga tao. Yung pera natin na inilagay natin sa pagkarami-raming project, ilagay na lang natin kung kaya natin tatlo na lang pero tapos. Tapos tsaka tayo magsimula ng iba. Hindi yung puro sinimulan natin. Ano reason nyo para gusto nyo magsimula na hindi nyo naman kayang tapusin? Ano reason doon? Why are you doing that? Yung mga old-timers sa NIA, bakit nyo ginagawa yun? I-explain nyo nga sa akin. Ano reason nyo doon? Ha? Ba't nyo sinisimulan na hindi nyo kayang tapusin? Kasi napansin ko yung sa inyo, puro study kayo eh. Oh, ano mapapala natin sa study? No isang beses, 2.5 billion study. Sabi ko, tigilan nyo yan. Huwag na kayo mag-study. Gawin nyo lang yung kaya nyong gawin. O huwag kayo study ng study. Ano mapapala natin sa study? Hindi natin makakain yung study. Ha? Gawin na lang natin yung kaya nating gawin.
Sige, ma'am, sa ayos po. I-evaluate ko po kung ano yung ready for bidding na. Yun po i-concentrate natin.
I-focus na lang doon
Sige po.
ganito na lahat sinimula tapos walang matatapos.
Sige po.
Iubos nyo pera natin just to make puro simula, walang tatapusin. Ha? Kawawa naman. Kaya tayo, ano tayo eh? Ano na tayo eh? Tayo na.
Yung mga ready for procurement na po.
Ito na, big na lang yun.
Hindi.
Yung 35, oh. Oh.
Sis ba, bumibid ulit? Phase 1, ibang ibid. Phase 2, ibang bid.
No, ma'am, mali yung presentation nila. Isinama po nila nung simulan nila yung study. Kasi lahat po ng project required po na magkaroon ng detail engineering bago mo ipabid. So, yung detail engineering mo kasi may expenses na sila.
gawa sila ng for the years.
Ma'am, at
Budget nila. Natatapos nila for the years. Oh,
ma'am, yung setup ma'am kasi, kaya ginagaya namin sa DPWH. Ang DP po kasi, meron silang preliminary engineering section. So lahat ng preliminary engineering activities ginagawa nila doon. So pagpasa nila sa construction, doon pa lang ipapabid. Doon pa lang magsisimula yung count ng construction kasi doon nila ipapabid eh. Sa kanila kasi mula doon sa preparation hanggang
mo,
yan po
kami,
yung
binibigay namin sa public works ngayong year. Magagawa yun next year. Oh, I mean, hindi naman nila alam kung ano ipagagawa namin sa kanila eh. Oh, mag-identify kami this year. Magagawa nila yun lahat, matatapos nila yun next year. Kasi next year, magbibigay uli kami sa kanila, gagawin nila the following year.
Yes, ma'am. Kaya kung mapansin po natin sa DP, yung karamihan po ng projects is ang range ng 100 million, mga 30, 100. Ito kasing ibang projects ng NIA po ma'am ay talagang multi-year. May mga billion pa po rito.
After 5 years, 10%. Diba? Sobra naman yun. I do not expect yun na katulad ng DPWH. Pero sila, pag sinabi mo ngayon, next year, tatapusin nila. O kayo naman, hindi naman namin ine-expect yung ganon. Pero hindi naman after 5 years, 10%. Diba? Ang nagawa. Diba? Sobra naman yun.
Tama ma'am. Actually, medyo binabago po namin yung sistema ma'am para yung ang ibibigay sa
Kung ikaw dumating kang bago diyan pero kung ang ang ano ng kanilang ano ganun, miski ka dumating diyan ganun pa rin mangyayari diyan. Kung orientation nila ganun na
Yes, ma'am.
10% accomplishment after 5 years. Hindi ko tipida, hindi na.
Ah, okay, ma'am. Kaya ang policy
Para na lang yung mga project. Ano na lang bayad sa loob.
tama.
Pinapayagan sa
Hindi na ma'am, ang gagawin po namin yung mga shovel ready projects. Yun po yung ihingan namin ng punto.
ako.
Kasi nga may study na sila, sayang naman. So,
sa bisitahin po nila yung listahan, yung mababagal, pwede naman po nila i-discontinue yun eh. Yung pondo po na nandun sa, opo, na discontinued na project, pwede po nilang gamitin dun sa project na mas mabibilis at mas kailangan. Ano lang yun, ma'am? Actually, since corporation po sila, hindi na nila kailangan ng request sa amin dahil meron po silang special provision that allows them to use their unobligated portion nung previously released na mga subsidy para po dito sa mga mababagal na project. Bali, ito pong listahan, napakahabang listahan na ito. Isa-isahin po nila, tingnan nila kung ano yung status ng implementation. Pwede po nilang i-discontinue or i-abandon.
May naka-priority na po kami. Ano po?
Tignan na lang po namin sa meron ka bang ano? May 1.9% or 84%.
Ma'am, actually, hindi naman po lahat ng nandito na projects. Nasa 2024 namin. Pinili ko lang po yung mga ready na ma-implement at yun po ang gagawin lang namin. Napakarami po kasi na ito na ano eh. Kaya lang yung iba hindi pa nga ready. So, yeah. Hindi, ma'am, ito yung mga sinimulan ng project. Pero ang tinignan namin, yung mga ready i-implement at yun lang muna ang pinopose namin sa 2024 budget. Hindi po lahat ito.
Ito, 28, 39, 51, 63, 73. Asan yung iba? Asan yung iba? Ito. One. Oo. Locally. So, ang total is, 80 projects locally. Kasi yung foreign assisted, baka hindi nyo pwedeng galawin. Tinan mo naman itong Halaor, 37.77. Kasi pag nagre-report kayo, hindi natin nilalagay. Ako lang humingi nito yung year. Hindi nila ito nilalagay, kaya hindi alam na ganito ito 80%? 80 projects.
Yes, ma'am.
Tapos ang daming 10%. Baka kailangan tapusin nyo muna yung kayang tapusin bago simulan yung di ba? Tama yung suggestion mo Tigil muna yung iba, tapusin yung kayang tapusin.
Actually, ma'am, kaya po kayo, hindi naman po lahat yung 80 projects na yon ay pinopose namin for 2024 kasi nung i-evaluate ko, yung 30 plus lang po ang pinopose namin.
Dito.
Yung 30 plus.
It came sa akin na report.
Yes, ma'am. Ito pong bigyan mo sa kanya, Patrick. Kasi nga nakita namin yung iba mo, medyo matagal pa yun. Kaya pinili na lang namin yung madali ng i-implement.
Bigay ka na report. Paano ba yan? Hindi na tayo matapos sa hearing. So, bigay nyo na lang sa akin ng report para naman,
Yes, ma'am.
na may hikahin. Nung last hearing ko, nakita ko na yan Puro study Ang laki-laki ng budget sa study. In fact, pinatanggal ko yung budget sa study at pinalagay ko sa Halaor para matapos na yung Halaor Kasi yung Halaor, 1/3 pa pala lang. 1/3. Tapos yung balog-balog, yun yung pinakamalalaki nilang project Yung Halaor, yung sa Iloilo, 1/3. Tapos Kasi hindi sila nagre-report dito eh. Yung balog-balog. Ano ba yung balog-balog? Anong number yung balog-balog? Anong number yung balog-balog? Hindi ko na mahanap eh.
Number 16.
Oh. 50%. 50% yung balog-balog. Tapos yung halaor, 35%. Nako. Sino nag-strategy ng ganito? Ah? Yung mga old-timers sa NIA, sino nag-strategy ng ganyan? Yung basta simula ng simula, hindi tinatapos. Ah? Sino may pakana nito? Sino nag-strategy ng ganito? DBM, bakit nyo pinayagang ganyan sila?
Kasi
Sino nag-strategy niyan?
actually po ma'am, since ongoing na siya, wala po kaming, I mean, ano na siya, nasa tier 1 na po talaga siya dahil ongoing siya eh. They identified it as
5%.
ongoing.
Tapos puro 5%. Hindi nyo pinakialaman? Kasi alam mo, minsan yung mga technical, hindi sila marunong ng finance eh. Dapat nakikialam kayo kasi dapat pinigil nyo yan. Dapat mas konti na matatapos kaysa maraming walang natatapos. Di ba? Kung business kayo, bankrupt kayo. Dapat mas konting matatapos kaysa maraming puro hindi tapos. Diba? Dapat ganun ang strategy.
Sige ma'am, hindi po kami magpo-propose ng project for ano na hindi namin.
Tapusin na lang to.
Tapusin. Yes, ma'am.
Kayang tapusin. Huwag na tayo mag-propose ng bagong project kasi
Ah.
wala namang use sa Pilipinas yung padami-dami project na hindi naman matatapos. Mas maganda yung mas konting project na tapos.
Tama ma'am. Kaya po yung nakita ko na hindi ready na yun ang ino-offer po namin for PPP para wala nang hindi na sa aming opisina. So again ma'am, yung mga nakita namin mga projects out of the 80, 30 na lang kasi ang pinopose namin. Yung mga nakita namin na hindi kumagalaw, yun ang i-realign namin ng budget. Either to obligate, Ma'am Gina, pwede ba yun? And then yun na lang gamitin natin doon sa
Yun daw pera
priority.
nila sa other projects na hindi gumagalaw, dadalhin na lang doon sa project. Pwede daw eh. Sabi
Yes. Actually, yun po yung sinasabi ko. Kaya nga hindi ko pinupos lahat yung projects na previous eh. Kasi nung i-evaluate ko, nakita ko na pag i-propose namin, hindi gagalaw. Kaya po tinanggal ko po yun.
sa akin para
Yes, ma'am.
may peace of mind. Gawa mo ako ng panibago na from here, pumili na lang kayo kung ano tatapusin nyo.
Yun naman talaga ma'am.
Huwag na lahat na ganito.
Ang sama lang kasi, pinupos nila lahat yung simula nung Hindi, dapat yung for funding lang natin ng 2024 ang pinakita. Tapos mali talaga yung
Sama na nakita natin kasi nasimulan lahat eh.
ma'am.
Meron 10%, may 5% eh. Kaya nga tinignan ko eh. Hindi ko naman, nung hiningi ko yung multi-year nyo, gusto ko lang masagot na yung ganito, multi-year, matatapos. Hindi ko naman naisip na ganito lalabas na lahat eh 5%. Na-shock nga ako.
Yes, Madam Chair. Tapos,
Kala ko nung ibigay nyo multi-year, maganda na makikita mo na through the years, tatapusin, gano'n. Hindi ko alam na puro simula.
yes, ma'am.
Simula.
So,
Alam na ganito lalabas. Kaya pakita mo na lang sa akin how you will, how will you solve this problem na puro simula. Barahin na lang natin yung mga hindi mahirap, tapos tuloy natin yung kaya natin tapos.
Yes, ma'am. And moving forward po, pumunta kami ng highways nung para gayahin namin yung system nila. Kasi sa highways, meron silang planning section, planning and design. So, sa kanila kasi, construction sabay-sabay. Ang maganda kasi, ma'am, yung planning, tapusin muna yung preparation ng project. Pag ready yung project, ipapasa nila sa construction. Yun po ang gagawin lang namin sa NIA.
Siguro yung malalaki lang project yon. Pero
Yes, ma'am.
ito, meron pa ding maliliit eh.
Rest assured, ma'am, hindi kami maglalagay ng budget sa...
Siguro yung may planning sila na yun yung malalaki nilang project. Pero yung maliliit na project, dapat pag in-identify mo this year, tatapusin mo next year. Meron ding maliliit eh. At multi-year pa yon.
Sige po, ma'am.
Small projects, nakalagay dito eh. May nakita ako eh. Ano yun mo na lang sa akin kung how you will solve this para may peace of mind lang ako.
Okay po, ma'am. And makikita niyo po sa details yung natin, mas maraming maliliit talaga ngayon. Kasi yung mapang 8 hectares, 16 hectares, yun po yung tinutukan natin.
Kasi
Para-
malaki. Tapos hindi naman matatapos. Bakit kayo nag-identify ng pakarami? Akala ko lang, yung malalaki lang ay halaur at balog-balog. Eh, ito pala lahat eh. Ganito. 80? 80?
Sige, ma'am, mag-submit po kami ng...
Kayang tapusin. Huwag na mag-identify ng malalaki. O pag natapos nyo na yung kayang tapusin, at saka uli mag-identify ng malaki. Siguro, maswerte na, isang Luzon, isang Visayas, isang Mindanao, di ba? Oo. Yung Visayas is halaur, yung Luzon is balog-balog, isa sa Mindanao, and that's it. Tapos lahat maliliit na lang na kayang tapusin for the year. Di ba? Oo.
Yes po, ma'am. Yun talaga yung gagawin namin, ma'am. Sige po.
Pamili kayo dito. Okay.
Sige po, ma'am.
We go to ano ba yung susunod? Philippine coconut. O ito pa rin. O ako pinag-prepare ko kayo ng yung ako wala na akong pakialam do sa budget ng PCA, maliit lang 'yon. Ang ano ko is yung long term natin, yung Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Program. 'Yun ang babantayan ko kasi every year 'yon may 5 billion, 'di ba? Oo. Kaya 'yun ang pinagagawa ko sa kanyo. So hindi nyo nire-report 'yun. Dapat 'yun ang ire-report nyo every year kasi yung inyong budget 1 billion a year ba 'yon? Eh, okay lang 'yon kasi ubos na 'yun sa overhead, I'm sure. Oh, tsaka sa PS. Ito ngayon ang aasahan natin to lead in the development, itong Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Program. Ngayon, pinakita nyo sa akin 2023 at saka 2022. O, 2 taon. Kasi pinasal ba to 2021? O, so 2022. Ano ba tong ibig sabihin nito? Philippine Coconut Authority, 750 million. Ang accomplishment nyo noong 2022 is 7.5% and then yung 2023 is 8.5%. O ano ba yun? Ano ibig sabihin, no?
Ma'am, si Roel po.
Mag-distribute lang kayo, ang trabaho nyo dyan mag-distribute ng seedlings for small coconut farmers, di ba? Yan yung 750 million a year. Oo. But ganito accomplishment for 2 years? Less than 10%.
Madam Chair,
Ano ba to? Bakit ang disburse is 55 million ang percentage? Ano itong percentage na to?
Madam Chair, allow us to explain.
Oh.
The law was passed in February of 2021. And the executive order that allows the detailed implementation plan of the law was approved in June through an executive order in 2022, ma'am.
Oh.
And then henceforth, a new board came in after the change of administration, and it was only in September of 2022 when the plan was implemented for the year in 2022. That's just why the very low accomplishment for the year 2022. For 2023, when all the plans have been laid out, there were several disruptions, if we might say, regarding the implementation of the program. Since the program is based on hybridization, we need to get the partnership with the coconut farmers who own the mother plant, which are the dwarf seed nuts.
Huwag mo sabihin sa akin yan kasi matagal na ako dito.
Yes, ma'am.
Alam mo, talagang meron naman kayo na hybridization sa Zamboanga, di ba?
Yes, ma'am. We have
Huwag mo
that.
sasabihin sa akin na wala kayong hybridization. Alam mo, yung hybridization nyo sa Zamboanga, ang chismis doon, hindi nyo pinamimigay sa small farmers. Pinagbibili nyo sa isang kumpanya na private. Ngayon, chismis yun. Then finally, yung kumpanyang pinagbibilhan ng PCA, lumapit sa akin. At nilalakad sa akin na continuously ipagbili sa kanila. Oo. Kaya nahuli ko yon. Tapos meron pa lang sa inyong may board resolution sa PCA na sinabi nyo na pwede nyo ipagbili sa private para kumita kayo. Pero hindi nyo dinideclare yung napagbilhan nyo sa PCA. Tapos, itong bumibili sa inyo, ine-export sa Indonesia. So, yung ginagawa nyong hybrid seedlings, hindi nyo binibigay sa Filipino farmer, binebenta nyo sa private, tapos yung private na yun, ine-export sa Indonesia. Kaya huwag nyo sabihin sa akin na hindi nyo alam yung hybridization. Matagal nyo nang ginagawa yan. Kaya lang, hindi nyo binibigay sa small farmer, binibigay nyo sa, pinagbibili nyo sa private, at yung private, ine-export sa Indonesia. Nahuli ko yan eh. Kaya huwag nyo i-explain sa akin na may delay dahil hindi nyo alam yung hybrid. Matagal nyo nang ginagawa yan. Kaya lang hindi nyo pinamimigay sa farmer. Huwag nyo gagawin yun. Alam mo yung nagbebenta na yun, nagka-cancer.
Sige po.
Small farmer. Tapos hindi nyo tinuruan na mag-intercropping. Mas malaki kita sa intercropping kesa sa coconut. Yung dairy, cacao, and coffee.
Oh.
Yun lang ang gagawin nyo eh. Oh. Tapos bibigay nyo sa akin, ganito ang performance. Pinakamalaki na dairy dito, yung dairy nga, nag-aaway pa kami niyan. Tinan mo, oh. Ba't yung public works, hindi nyo ba binibigay sa public works ang pera? Hindi ba ang ano dito, bibigay nyo sa public works ang pera?
Ma'am, yung mga budget ng mga implementing agencies, diretso po sa agency.
Bakit wala silang performance?
Yung first year po ang walang.
2 year to walang performance pareho Public works?
Ngayon po, utilize nila yung entire.
Dito sa report mo, walang NCA issue, walang disburse, 0. 2022.
Ongoing na po lahat ng mga procurement nila lahat.
Kaya po hindi pa ano dito, wala pa yung
Po ilagay.
report, ma'am. Pero
Ang ibigay sa akin na ganito. Di ba dapat minomonitor mo yan?
opo,
Ako hindi ko pinapakialaman yung budget, yung bahalan na kayo
Apo.
doon. Maliit yun. Ito lang ang concern ko sa inyo na ma-implemento kasi ito ang pag-asa ng mga coconut farmers to make something out of themselves. Yeah. Farmers industry.
yes, ma'am. Ini-ensure naman namin na, ma'am. Ay, hinihintay lang namin kaya wala pa kaming ilagay dito na report. Hinihintay namin yung disbursement report nila na kasi ongoing yung kanilang mga procurement.
Sa mga anak ng coconut farmers, wala rin ditong accomplishment eh. At saka yung health program, sinabi ko na sa'yo, i-turn over mo na lang yung pera sa mga hospital, government hospital doon nakatira yung mga coconut farmers. Ano yung lugar na nakatira coconut farmers? Quezon, Bicol, Region 8, at saka the whole of Mindanao, di ba? Doon na maraming coconut farmers. I-turn over mo lang yung pera doon sa regional hospital doon para i-determine nyo na kung magkano yung ibibigay nyo tuwing magkakasakit ang coconut farmer para sila na lang magdi-disburse. Yung pupunta ako, magpapa-hospital doon ng mga coconut farmers.
Opo, ma'am.
Walang isang accomplishment to.
Ma'am, yung nung huling nag-meet po tayo dito, nag-identify na tayo ng
Kita ko sa press release nagkakaroon kayo ng pumupunta kayo sa community, tapos namimigay kayo ng health services doon. Hindi na ganun ang usapan natin Ang usapan natin, ita-turn over mo yung pera sa regional hospital doon sa lugar na where they live. So, ilang region sa Mindanao? 5. Tapos sa Visayas sa Region 8. Tapos sa Luzon sa Quezon. Alam naman natin sa Bicol, nandun na mga coconut farmers. Ibigay mo na doon at bahalan na sila na kung may sabihin nyo sa coconut farmers, pumunta sila sa ospital at they are entitled ang magdi-disburse yung hospital.
Yes, ma'am. Ginawa na po namin yun.
Kung nyo kaya yung magpupunta kayo bawat barangay at magkakaroon kayo ng doon, ano ba yun? Ayaw kayo makinig
Ma'am, nung afternoon binigyan nyo kami ng order na gano'n, na relate na po kami sa DOH at saka doon sa regional office po.
Lahat ng coconut farmer, may universal health care tayo. So, pupunta sila sa ospital pag sila'y magpapa-ospital. Pero syempre, yung universal health care natin, hindi nakukover lahat ng pangangailangan nila. This was meant to augment yung PhilHealth. Hindi mo to bibigay sa PhilHealth kasi wag mo na ibigay sa PhilHealth kasi PhilHealth pa lang may problema na. Di ba katakot-takot ang iskandalo sa PhilHealth? Bigay mo na lang sa ospital. Para yung kulang ng coconut farmer na binibigay ng PhilHealth, i-cover mo, pambili ng gamot, or kung merong mga something na gagawin sa kanila na hindi kayang i-finance ng PhilHealth, doon manggagaling. Ano ba tingin mo? Magkano ang bibigay mo sa each farmer? Kasi 500 million a year Ilan ba coconut farmer? 2.5 million. Ilan ba magkakasakit doon? Hatiin na lang doon. Magkano tingin mo? Napag-aralan nyo ba yun?
Ma'am, nung huling nag-meeting tayo, prorated po kung ilan yung numbers ng farmers doon. Parang ganun din natin.
Hindi naman lahat ng farmer magkakasakit all at the same time.
Apo.
Sa isang taon, tingin mo, sa 2.5 million coconut farmers, ilan na magkakasakit? Based on statistics.
What survey?
Hindi, pero mga ilan. Wala sa kawan. Hindi yun. Yung
based dun sa data, ma'am, mga between 10 to 15%. Tapos karamihan, mga high blood, kasi puro, mga
Di ba sobra liit noon? Ang Ikes 3,000 eh. May wala bang actuarial study yan? Tsaka hindi naman lahat matalino napupunta sa ospital, di ba? Siguro minimum 5, no? Ano? Baka minimum 5. Unless grabe yung sakit na it can be justified.
Yun ma'am, ang tingin naman namin, kukunti po yung talagang grabe yung sakit. Karamihan nga, high blood.
Hindi, pero sa dami.
Hindi tayo mag-i-invent kayo kung ganyan.
Study mo na lang yung actuarial regime. Ako na lang magbayad.
100,000 patients lang po yung pag 5,000.
Tingin ko nga yung mga coconut farmer, hindi nila alam na pwede silang pumunta sa ospital. Di ba? Kaya baka konti lang ang pumunta. Wala naman kayong ginagawang tawag doon. Promotion, di ba?
Ma'am, yung pong nakikita nyo sa mga yung caravan, yung parang information dissemination na ginagawa namin para yung mga coconut farmers aware sila doon sa mga programs po.
Katulad nito, Filmec, wala kang accomplishment dito. Marami akong pinadadala sa akin retrato, yung Filmec namimigay ng processing.
Yung naman nila, wala daw po paglalagyan. Mali ang pagpili nila ng beneficiary.
Ang daming nagpakuha sa akin ng picture na na binigyan nyo eh.
Ma'am, nag-groundbreaking na po kami nung lahat ng mga 33 areas na identified na nila anong mga equipments at saka ano. So,
Alam mo,
procure na po sila.
lahat ng bayan pwede mong bigyan ng ano tawag doon, yung yung processing ng coconut. Oo.
Yung
Mura
Coco
lang.
Choir, yung Coco Choir po. Yung Coco Choir.
Tapos i-require mo ang public works na bilhin, di ba?
Opo, nagbigay yung DPWH ma'am, nagbigay na sila ng sa kanilang mga regional offices na gamitin yung Coco Geonet, yung mga Coco. Opo, meron ng order na binigay po.
Inaasal mo yung mga tao at bibigyan ng bahan. Ang structure to work for it.
Opo,
Pwede naman, mura lang yung structure eh.
Hindi naman, bakit nila pinigil yung walang participation? Sino magagawa nito?
ma'am, kasama sa ng DPWH. Sa budget ng DPWH.
Alin?
Yung road at saka yung bahay po.
Oh.
Yung lalagyan ng mga
Ba't hindi
shared facilities.
ilagyan ng bahay?
Opo. Nagmi-meeting po ngayon yung nasa yung design, sinihintay lang po ng DPWH. Pina-finalize nila with PhilMec para yung ilalagay na equipments hindi po tapos suitable po siya para sa food processing. Opo.
Parang hindi kayo nag-uusap kasi zero.
Tuloy-tuloy naman po yung usapan namin. Ma'am, yung kaya po nakalagay na blanco dyan, hinihintay po namin. Pero ang report po ng DPWH,
2022, 2023 na, 2 years na, nakablanko pa rin. Alam mo, ako talaga na nalulungkot ako eh. Kasi kaya nagkaganito agriculture. Medyo. Alam mo, importante kasi yung may heart tayo doon sa ginagawa natin. Otherwise, ganito nga mangyayari sa atin. Wala sa puso natin yung ginagawa natin.
Ma'am, may kasama na po na listahan yung DPWH na gagawin nila
Ito
na.
akin. Kanina lang
Saan si-
akin to eh. Tapos wala naman ako nakita.
Sino
Ah,
ba, ma'am?
meron ba? Meron ba? Kasi ang wala rito is PCA health. Oh. Wala dito yung high value crop. Wala dito yung BAI. Wala ang PhilMec. Wala ang DBP.
Ma'am, pwede kong dalhin yung listahan ngayon dyan sa inyo.
Wala eh. Alam mo, dito lang ako interesado. Alam mo, hindi ko pinakikialaman na yung mga budget nyo. Binibigay ko na sa inyo yan eh. Ito lang ako interested kasi sayang to eh. Ito yung para sa mga tao eh. PCA. Tapos yung Commission on Higher Education, yung scholarship, wala rin dito.
PA counterparty nurse bae tsaka yung
Ay, naku. Sige, ayusin nyo lang to kasi alam mo kaya ako to hinihingi for my peace of mind lang na-implement to. Kasi ito lang ang pag-asa ng coconut farmer. Tsaka ito tinatanong sa akin ni Presidente kung may pag-asa daw yung mga coconut farmer.
Opo, andun na po yung mga submissions ng mga list ng mga projects ng DPWH at saka PhilMec, ma'am. Ang assurance ng DPWH at saka PhilMec, mauubos po nila yung kanilang budget for this year.
Tingin ang L-shape. Wala bang plastic? Sama-sama. So, ang nagbigay lang dito is PhilMec at saka DPWH. So, wala pa yung BAI.
Chen, ng Captain CBP. Di ba nag-listing kayo sa data? Oo, actually, out of the table.
BAI, wala. DPWH. May CHED dito pero 109. Lab. CHED.
Yes, ma'am, i-complete po namin yan. I-complete po namin yung lahat ng listahan, ma'am.
NDA at saka Philippine Carabao. Alam mo, ang concern ko lang sa NDA at Philippine Carabao, kung ano ba ang target nyo to increase the milk production of the Philippines, bigay nyo lang sa akin at yung reasonable target, huwag nyo akong bigyan ng nakakatawan target. Eh, 1% ang panggagalingan natin, 30 years na nga kayo, 1% lang ang na-produce nyo. Eh, huwag nyo naman akong bigyan ng 1% after 5 years, sobra naman yun. O ano, bigyan mo ako ng target. Ano na target mo? Every year, 1%. 2% after 5 years.
Yes, ma'am, yung contribution
Ayoko.
na maging 2%.
1% a year. Tapos ikaw, ilan ang target mo? Mas malaki ka dapat.
Yes po, 16.16 po ang ating baseline ng 2022. Ang target po natin by the end,
16 point.
16 million po.
Iwag mo kung bigyan ng million yung percentage ng increase mo.
By 2028 po, ang target po natin ay 80 million.
Ilang percent yun? Increase.
That's nasa almost 400% increase na po.
Kasi 100% increase. Kasi 1% ang panggagalingan nyo eh. So, ang double nun eh, 1% a year. Di ba? Oh. 1% a year.
Ma'am, ang ano nila yung production targets po nila.
Mm.
So NDA, for example, as a base.
Kasi sabihin mo sa akin 395%. Eh pero ang panggagalingan mo 1%. So kahit mag 395% ka, ito eh for ano lang to? Parang 5% after 5 years. 'Di ba? 'Di ba? Ibig mo sabihin, ang ibig nyo sabihin, kayong dalawa, after 5 years, mag-i-increase ang ating milk production from 1% to 5%. Tapos 95% pa rin ang i-import natin. Kasi, malaking tingnan yung 395%, but that is idodoble mo 1%, di 5% after 5 years. Ibig mo sasabihin mo sa akin, after 5 years, ang i-importin natin 95%, kasi 5%, di ba?
Yeah.
Hindi pwede.
Yung anak, paano? Hindi tayo
Siguro, mas reasonable, ikaw, increase mo yung 1% by 5%. After 1% a year, siya dapat mas malaki kasi sabi mo, mas malaki siya. Relative to you, ikaw siya 3 times. So, dapat 1%, 3% a year ka. Para kung 3%, mag-project tayo. 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%. So, ang production natin ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ikaw, i-contribute mo is 5%. After 5 years, ikaw Kasi triple ka, 1.5, 1.5, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 15. Tapos siya 5, 15. So 20% tayo ang milk demand natin, ang ating production after 5 years. Siguro naman, hindi naman malaki yung expectation na from 1% magiging 20% after 5 years. Diba?
Ang problema walang herd up siya.
Ay, problema nila yun.
Wala siyang
Basta yun ang target natin. 80% ang imported, 20% ang local production. Di ba reasonable na yun? Hindi na nakakahiya.
It's realistic. Pero how?
Problema nila yun. Hindi ko problema yun.
Kasi Mercy?
Oh, Mercy, pwede na ba yan? 20% after 5 years.
Kung Carabao, ubra eh. Kawang problema.
Kasi ngayon, ang production niya is triple than Carabao eh.
Ma'am, depende po kasi dun sa kanilang herd build up. So, sa ngayon, dun sa projection nila ng herd build up, na doon sa request nila na for NDA 350 sana, yun yung projection nila na from
Meron
from
siyang
16.
galing sa Coco Levy na
meron-
160 million.
Kasama ba yun?
166 million.
Kasama ba yun?
Sinama na po.
Sinama niya doon sa computation natin kahapon.
Bukod sa
Ah,
kanyang budget,
okay.
kano budget mo?
Sa CFIDP po, nasa 166
Oh,
million.
sa yung regular budget.
Sa net po natin ngayon ay 272.
272? Oh, 272, 55% nun. O, so magkano matitira sa'yo? Ang 45% ng 272, 130. So may 300 million ka every year. Kasi 55% ang ibibigay mo sa PSN overhead, di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
O, di may matitirang 130 at saka 160. 300 million a year ka. Ikaw, magkano binibigay sa'yo ng PCA? May binibigay sabi mo sa akin. di ba?
Wala, hindi po kasama. Wala. Pero this year, magbigay daw sila.
PCA, di ba kukuha tayo sa kanya? Magbibigay kayo?
Yes po, may dagdag po tayong project size sa 2024.
O, magkano binibigay mo sa kanya?
Bali 65 million po yun.
Ang lit-lit naman.
Ayun lang po yung
Ano?
yun lang po yung allocation natin sa regular budget.
Ano?
Yung 65 million po.
O, magkano ang budget mo, Iho?
Ang budget ko ma'am sa regular fund natin ay 711
Oh,
million.
55
Tapos-
noon ang 55 noon ang mo, ang PS overhead, di ba?
Yes,
O,
yes po ma'am.
magkano yung 55? Di 45 maiiwan para sa project.
So, yun,
55 times times 700. 350. Plus may 65 ka, may 400 million ka,
Yes,
siya
po.
may 300 million. Dali nyo yan dyan at i-ano nyo.
Doon sa discussion namin kahapon with NDA, hindi natin naisama itong 160, hindi mo nabanggit sa amin.
Meron siya sa coconut levy.
We were just working on the
Yes
200.
po. Yusik, Your Honor, ang pinag-uusapan kasi.
Dadaling kung saan-saan yun. Yun, talagang pamimigay mo, no? Boko.
Yes po. Baka po talaga yun. Yung 166 po.
166 million yun.
Opo, kaya
Puro-
kasama po natin dito sa paglaki ng herd. Kasama po yun, pero hindi po namin isinama dun sa budget na hinihingi ngayon.
So doon sa baseline natin na pinag-uusapan kahapon, nandun na yung kasama na yung 166? Doon sa baseline natin kahapon?
Yes po, kasama na po yun doon. Dahil ano po yun dedicated lang po sa mga coconut farmers yun.
Tapos magkakaroon ka pa ng 166 for 2024. Ulit, hindi na.
Hindi po, every year. Every year.
Natin yan isinama sa 2024 na build-up mo.
Kaya po, specific po yun sa mga coconut areas natin.
Ay, ganun pa rin yun. Kahit na.
Din ang ano.
Kahit na.
Oh, kahit pa coconut areas yun, increase din yun ng supply ng milk. Anywhere in the Philippines, ang pinag-uusapan natin yung supply of milk in the Philippines. Yeah. Discrimination. Oo.
Naman ito ay AI ang ano nila. Tsaka bibili ng local
Tayo 20% in 5 years. Kahiya-hiya tayo kasi yung 1% nyo in 30 years, nakakatawa kayo doon.
local lahat ito, oo. Kaya lang yung projection po nila kasi at that 350 yun ang pinag-usapan namin kahapon kasi hindi ko alam yung 166 eh. Yung 350 that will only bring them NDA from the current 16 million metric tons to 81 million metric tons.
Tawa. Bumawi naman kayo. Kahiya-hiya tayo. Ilan ba yung 20%? After 5 years, ilan ba yung 20%? Parang
Madam Senator, yung growth namin based dito sa ating program ay ma-multiply natin 5 times yung ating local production.
5 times kaso nga pinapanggalingan mo 1%.
Yan nga, ma'am.
Nakakatawa.
5% lang din yun.
Pwede yung 5, ibig mo sabihin sa akin, after 5 years, 5% of local demand ang ipoproduce mo. Kayong dalawa,
Kami din naman ay gusto sana.
nakakahiya. Kasi pinatawad na kayo 30 years, 1% of local demand.
Ay, siyempre kami din ay gusto din nating
Wala kayong
Mm-mm.
ano tawag doon, yung developmental.
Parang kayo, nandyan lang kayo NDA at saka PCC, wala kayong gagawin, basta nakatunganga lang kayo. Kung ano mangyari, ganun ang mangyari. Ganun ang mentality nyo eh.
So, yun ma'am, I will,
Basahin yung mandate nyo. You're supposed to do developmental work.
yes po, Madam Senator, we are doing development work.
Na after 5 years, 5% of demand tayo, 95% imported.
May certain limitation kasi biological yung ating mga animals. Hindi talaga natin magawang, kasi for example, bago siya manganak ulit, bago siya maggatas, kailangan ng 4 years. So, yung growth natin could take, yung mabilis na growth will start after 5 years. Kasi yung pananganak ngayon, 5 years pa yung gagatasan. No? Maski anong gawin namin, technically and biologically, hindi siya pwede. Pwede siya, kasi paano maski anong gawin mo, hindi naman siya manganak next year. Maggatas siya after 5 years pa, hindi mo multiply 20 times.
Tayo?
Yes po ma'am, kasi yun nga, yung existing natin, maliit siya, no? So yung ating production ngayon sa existing natin ay 6 million. Bibigyan natin yan next year, maging 12 million. No. So ganun lang siya kasi ma-multiply mo siya.
Nakalagay mo dito.
So gusto mo namin biological siya
Your Honor, we started computation based on their existing dairy production cow at saka carabao.
Ano binigay niyo?
So, ano yung binigay? Ano yung 2022 na benchmark nyo?
Hindi talaga pwede yung 5%.
Kaya po, I don't know kung if we increase, yun kaya gusto nilang increase yung herd. Parang
yun sa ating funding, you know.
Import na naman Ang tagal-tagal nyo na nag-i-import. Wala naman nangyayari sa inyo
Sa ating proposal, di ba, sa ano natin, bumili tayo ng local procurement na
Sabihin nyo, in-import nyo na matindi.
hindi po, digital build up natin, ma'am. Bibili tayo ng 3,000, di ba? Local procurement. Wala tayong, kasi ma'am,
procurement lahat to.
kung allow me to present dong anong ginagawa ng PCC, pwede? Kasi, siyempre biological, hindi natin pwedeng
Saan mo
bago.
yung local procurement?
So yung local procurement, ma'am, di ba, for the last, siguro sabi, bakit matagal? Kasi yung
So, ang ipamimigay mo sa mga tao,
local natin, ma'am.
locally.
Kasi to develop a breed, kasi sa Pilipinas,
Ginawa mo inventaryo, yung nasa iyo lang. Hindi mo ginawang inventaryo, yung nasa labas.
yung PSA, nag-inventaryo nasa labas, no? So,
Ano?
because yung PSA, di ba, may inventaryo. So, mayroon tayong inventory sa sarili natin.
Ano ang ginawa mong basis ng growth mo, yung inventaryo mo?
Sinama na namin din yung PSA na inventory, no? Because
Pag binili mo yan, pareho din yun.
yun ang nangyari kasi, Senator, kasi yung mga
Ginamit yung figure, yung inyo o yung lahat ng figure sa Philippines.
mayroon kami local yung aming ginagawa, tapos mayroon din yung national, yung galing ka PSA.
Para lumaki yung sayo.
Di ba, may certain percentage doon, bibili natin from the farmers. Kasi yung nangyari, yung farmers naman, hindi lahat nagagatas, di ba? They are raising carabao. Originally kasi yung carabao ay for work, saka for meat. Dahil sa ating programa, kung makita natin dyan sa map, yung breeding program natin, matagal kasi wala kasi tayong sariling breed, no? Ang ginagawa dati, nag-i-import. So kami sa PCC, hindi na kami nag-i-import. We develop our own breed. Gusto natin, pero yung technical, paano ka mag-develop ng breed, it takes 25 years. Kailangan siya ng 5 generations para na-produce yung sarili. Mayroon na tayong breed, no? So na-develop natin yan for the last 25 years. Now, ang gawin na lang natin is to multiply them. Ito nga ating na-develop na breed. dahil dito sa ASEAN country, tayo lang yung nag-develop ng breed. Marami ng, di ba, Yusek, maraming countries na gusto mag-import sa atin.
Na lang sa
So, kung yan, ma'am, nakita natin, yung 25 years natin, we were able to develop the Philippine Dairy Breed. So, ngayon, di ba, binigyan mo kami last year ng Dairy Health Build-Up. Ngayon, dahil hindi naman sa atin, nasa mga farmers yan, no? Marami na sa mga farmers. Fortunately, hindi lahat ng farmers gusto magatas. Gusto ko lang mag-alaga ng kalabaw, pang-araro. Gusto ko mag-alaga, ibenta.
namigay na katakumas.
Yes, ma'am. So ngayon,
Tayo ngayon ng sa
dahil sa budget na, namimili na tayo. No? So gusto lang natin na sana itong pagpamili natin maging regular.
pamili, magkano kailangan mo at paano
Yan lang ang ating ginagawa nating yung SB 119.
sa yung 1% a year.
Yes po, ma'am.
1%.
Mapasa yung ginawa mong batas na SB 119. Di ba, ma'am, yung Dairy Health Build-Up, yung requirement natin sa pagkain. So pag nandoon lahat yung mga component para ma-improve yung ating
Hindi mo kailangan
population.
yung livestock.
Yung livestock program, ma'am, no? Kasi yung livestock program, wala naman kaming funding.
Livestock program.
Yes.
20%.
Dahil yun nga, hindi pa rin natin gusto man natin, pero mahirap naman magsabing hindi totoo, di ba? Kasi hindi pa rin kasi it takes time dahil
Bang pwedeng bilhin na available? Saan pa magsisimula?
yan ma'am, di ba? May 3,000 tayo, may next year 5,000 yung ating target na bibilhin. So, ganun, kung may funding na tayo sa SB 119,
Sa'yo, 20%, sabihin mo sa akin kung ano ilalagay ko doon sa livestock bill para ma-reach nyo yung 20%.
sige ma'am, but hindi natin taasan ng time frame, no? Dahil
5 years na baka
5 year, 20% in 5. Oh, yun nga, kasi yung bibili natin,
Problema kaya mo talagang si overtime.
I mean, kaya nating mamili. But hindi naman yan mga agad at magagatas agad. Long term yun, magbibuild up yun.
Bumili ako.
Yes po, ma'am.
Nanganak na agad. Diba? Bumili ako sa Central Luzon, nanganak agad.
Yes po, yung next generation kasi, madali kasi yung mga anak siya, ma'am, di ba? Magatas naman yan. Tayo, madodoble siya next year, no? But yun nga, yung doble, from 1% maging 2%. Kung magano yan, maging siguro 4%, no? So yung 20% in 5 years.
Hindi ko naman sinasabi ikaw lahat yung 20%, may share siya. Kasi ang
Sige.
sinasabi mo sa akin, 2% in 5 years. Ang gusto ko sa'yo, 5%.
5 years. Yes po, ma'am. Sige, ma'am. With the assurance na yung
15%.
yung SB 119 natin na funding ay maging available. No? So, sige ma'am, we'll compute based on the 5%, assuming yung ating funding na pinopropose ay continuous.
Sa'yo, 5. Kaya
Yes po, ma'am.
tapos ipapasa ko yung livestock bill.
Yes po.
Sabihin nyo sa akin kung ano kailangan nyo doon at ibibigay ko sa inyo.
Sige ma'am, submit a revised proposal based on the target of 5% with the assumption na yung binigay mo naman sa amin, ma'am, is dahil yung SB 119 wala pa yung funding. So, from now, between that, we need yung very hard build up kasi, ma'am, di ba? May 3 years tayo, di ba?
Wala pa yung batas eh.
Okay, ma'am.
Ilan na ang kailangan mo, paano?
Yes, sige. Okay. We'll do that, ma'am.
Ma'am, yung isa, iba naman ang sitwasyon mo. Ano ikaw?
Ang balak po natin para ma-reach kasi kinumpute ko na po ngayon para sa 15% na na production level. ibig sabihin yan, dapat pagdating ng 2028, nasa 52,000 na inahin. Dapat meron tayo. Ang plano po natin ngayon ay bumili ng maraming similya at ipakross sa mga baka na existing ngayon. Ang habol po natin ngayon ay magpasok ng average ng 10,000 na
Lahat
inahin.
ng babae dapat for milk. Lahat ng lalaki for meat.
Yes po.
So, kung kailangan mamili ka ng mga babae para gawin nila, hindi nila gawing meat, gawin nilang milk, gawin nyo.
Yes po.
Basta ang target natin 20%, di ba?
Yes po. Basta po ang...
Yung ano, meron ka na sa Kokole, bibigyan pa kita sa livestock bill.
Yes po.
Kasi gigil na gigil ako doon sa 1%. Napapahiya ako doon. Nakakahiya. So magplano kayo. You make the plan with our people. And then para pagpasa namin ng livestock bill, mabigyan ko kayo ng pera para ma-reach nyo yung 20% in 5 years.
Ang utang pa niya sa iyo, ma'am, yung pinagagawa ko sa kanya.
Ano?
Yung mga livestock farm, yung farm. Yeah. Oh.
Hindi ba i-distribute yan sa farmer?
Yes, ma'am.
I-distribute. Tapos yung processing, i-distribute sa co-op.
Opo.
Hindi naman nila kailangan ng livestock farm. Yung livestock farm para lang source yun ng pamimigay nila.
Opo, sila. Ha? Hindi, yun namin.
Parang yun naman 20%. Mababa na yun. Okay na yun. Hindi na tayo kahiya-hiya. Diba? Ang kakao nga ngayon, 20%. Diba? Hindi tayo masaya. Sa kanila kasi panggagalingan 1%. Hindi naman dapat pinabayaan.
Pero pag nasimulan yan, magkikita siya. Hindi lang talaga nasisunod. Mali yung mindset.
Parang hirap. Ayaw na ayaw nila.
Yes, important lang.
Mga private, yung pati babae, ginagawang meat. Huwag nyo nang pabayaan gawin ng meat ang babae. Bilhin nyo na lang at ipamigay nyo na nagagawin ng milk. Diba? Okay lang yung mga lalaki gawing meat, pero yung mga babae dapat milk. Tapos hindi na naman sila gagamitin sa pagtrabaho kasi namimigay na rin tayo ng equipment Hindi na talaga. Either meat or milk lang sila. So, i-defend na natin yung livestock.
Yes, ma'am.
Ipakita mo sa akin. Pakita mo sa kanila kung ano budget nilang kailangan para ilagay natin doon. Mahal ba yung mamili?
Kung may conscious o di kami lang, talaga kasi. Hindi nila alam kung ano yung gusto natin. Kung gusto mo,
Ba't hindi nila naman?
hindi kasi sila lang.
Ano ginagawa?
tumitingin din po kasi sila sa merkado. Kaya especially ngayon, hindi pa po tayo nakakabalik yung sa level ng before the pandemic ng production. Hindi pa po tayo nakakabalik sa ngayon. Kaya ang gusto nating mangyari sana for this year po ang rebreeding and rehabilitation ng mga bakang naapektuhan ng panahon ng pandemic. Ang mga nabigyan po nung 2010, doon po nagsimula yung multiplier farm nung araw. Pero natapos po yun ng co-ops po mga FCAs.
Ba't hindi nag-book sa mga website?
Reporting lang.
Ang nakikita po namin dito, Madam Chair, yung yung kino-compute kasi natin yung sufficiency sa against dun sa pagdami rin ng population sa Pilipinas.
Hindi naman dumadaming ganun ang population. Mali yung concept nyo na importation eh. Kasi alam mo, yung ini-import mo, pagdating dito, nire-report nyo nangangamatay. Kasi hindi adjusted dito sa Philippines. Kasi galing sa abroad. Kaya mali yung concept ng importation eh. Ang may pamimigay mo lang sa mga farmer, yung anak niyan. Ikaw dapat may stock farm. Eh wala ka naman stock farm eh. O paano mo pinanganganak yung in-import mo tapos ibabimigay mo sa farmer kung wala ka namang stock farm. Kaya there's something wrong eh. May malaking kalokohan yung importation na yun eh. There's something wrong there. Oo. Ako, tinitingnan ko yan eh. Kung nag-import ka talaga, hindi mo pwede ibigay sa farmer kasi hindi naman adjusted sa Philippines yan. Aalagaan mo sa stock farm, panganganakin mo doon, tsaka yung anak nun, ang ipamimigay mo sa farmer. Otherwise, hindi kaya ng farmer yun. Hindi niya kayang alagaan yung imported mo. Kasi hindi nakaka-adjust sa Philippines yun. Mamamatay lang yun. Ba't ka import ng import? Hindi mo naman maibigay sa farmer. Wala ka naman stock farm na aalagaan mo doon para panganakin mo, para ibigay mo sa farmer. So, ano yung importation na yun? Kalokohan yun. Niloloko nyo lang kami. Kaya ayoko niya nag-i-import. Daya lang yan.
Sige ma'am, re-recompute na lang po ulit namin based on yung
Basta
mga
tayo,
provisional
ang
information.
acceptable lang sa akin, 20%. After 5 years. Oh. Ngayon, mag-project kayo doon. Yung binibigay sa iyo ng COCO levy fund, yung bibigay sa iyo ng PCA, tapos yung budget mo at budget mo. Tapos kung ano kulang doon, sabihin nyo sa akin, ilalagay ko doon sa livestock, poultry, and dairy bill. Kasi parang ako, hindi talaga pwede na after 5 years 5% tayo. Nahihiya ako doon. Parang, yeah. Okay, so ipakita nyo sa akin yung projection nyo na gagawin. Oo. Tapos walang problema na bibili kayo sa private kasi sabi nila, kasi hindi ko makita why bibili sa private eh. Pareho naman yon whether it's in your hands or the private, milk din yan. So that's part of the production. Eh sabi nila ginagawa daw meat ang babae. O yun, pag ganon, bilhin na lang natin at gawin nating milk para makuha natin yung yung ating target, di ba? Yun lang ang pwedeng logical explanation. Hindi ko makita na whether it doesn't matter whether it's in private hands or in your hands, basta nagpo-produce ng milk, yun ang supply natin ng milk, di ba? Ang justification nila ay ginagawang meat, yung mga babae. Oh. Kaya pag ganon, yun ang pwede natin bilhin. Okay. So, With no other issues to discuss, the budget for fiscal year 2024 of the following: the Department of Agriculture and its attached agencies and corporation, Department of Environment and Natural Resources and its attached agencies, and Department of Agrarian Reform, Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System, and Local Water Utilities Administration are hereby deemed submitted for plenary deliberations. The budget briefing for Finance Subcommittee B is hereby adjourned. Okay.
Ana?